trying to get someone to cover their org so they all can go. They can't. It's been a year since they've tried to get someone. They try to promote it. Can
Wow.
someone come? And no one wants to do that.
Not surprised.
Oh, it's incredible. I mean, there are so many flaws, and like speaking as someone who ran 1/3 of my organization as the heads, there is so many flaws. From working there, you can see it, or just like from if you weren't involved in it, and from the outside, and the more you speak to people that were involved in it, or the more that you kind of ask questions and try to attempt to understand certain ideas and concepts. Honestly, you have to do mental gymnastics to understand a lot of this stuff.
Yeah.
Hawaii have far more things to prioritize than fucking FABC training and sending personnel to America to do 3-year training, which is going to improve absolutely nothing at all. But they go up the bridge, they have fancy pins and fancy badges, and they
Sacramento already did it. I'm not sure on San Francisco, like sending their whole management board.
yeah, you have to send all of your executives.
Insane that you
It is
have to
insane.
do this as a volunteer.
Yeah. Yeah, it is insane. But you've got COB to thank for that.
You
You
got a
know,
cold. Is what you got.
well, there you
When
go.
did
I mean,
you start
yeah,
realizing? I mean, I know you probably answered this.
it's
Um,
okay. Yeah.
but did you, I mean, instead of the sudden, hey, you're in ethics for meeting with people that are declared, is it, I mean,
Yeah.
did you ever have an inkling?
And see, my favorite thing to do since I've left, besides just being a massive film geek, is travel, because I've been able to travel quite a bit so far and read philosophy. And through that, it just gets you asking questions and stuff. And I've like sat down on the couch I've just sat down in general, and I've like thought, okay, I probably could have left there. I probably could have left there. I remember when my grandfather passed away. See, when you experience death of someone really close to you dying for the first time, and you see a dead body and you have to bury them, and like that is, I can't even articulate that. That will stay with you forever. And then I remember like there was one point I came back over, like I was away for 2 months when that happened. I came back and I was supposed to be drilling in the chapel, like practicing a specific policy called the dissemination drill, right? I was supposed to be drilling that. And I got paired up with the LRH communicator, with the LRH com. Whew. LRH comms are not very nice in my experience. They are fucking asshole. I've never met a nice LRH com in my life. But she
Yeah.
was like, you're being completely down tone and you're putting everyone down, and no case on post, no case on post, and you just kind of have to get on with it and stuff. And anyway, that became a whole scene. And I had to get pulled in, to the exec Estel's office for third party handling and stuff. And there was, OWs and things like that. But like when I look back, it's like, I could have left there, I could have left there. Honestly, though, I tell this to everybody, the thing that made me go bye bye and packing my bags is 1 day of hard manual labor. Honestly, that is the pinnacle of all of it. Like, if you give a slave a pickaxe and you say, you're not gonna be paid, but you have to just, doof, doof, doof all day,
Mhm.
you're God. I can't even describe it. You're just dead by the end of it, and you're like, you've been in a relationship where there's so much psychological abuse, but when you go through like, I can't imagine what people went through when David, like when COB nearly strangled them to death and they
Yeah,
turn blue. It's like it's attempted murder, you
it is.
know? So
Yeah.
that's what did it for me was 1 day. Like I went through all the ethics and all the interrogations and all of that bullshit that we're going to cover today. But 1 day of hard manual labor in the Life Improvement Center, which is still under renovations. It was supposed to open in fucking January. that was like, I am done. No, I'm not
Yeah.
doing another day of manual labor without no pay. I ain't doing it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I get into that coercion type of like you're down it's you bringing this in, pulling this in. It blows my mind that people feel like they deserve it. And it's master and slave. And
Yeah, big time.
it's insane to me that it's like, okay, accepted. Accept my fate. I will get through this and be this, but it doesn't matter. Hi, Style. Hi, Kathy. I think I could read. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I
I,
agree.
I'm so sorry that you went through that, but I'm so glad that, you know, you've
Well, we're out now,
come away
right?
with lessons and an outlook on it.
Yeah.
Exactly. I was gonna say earlier, don't stress on when you could have left. Just be glad you did.
Yeah,
21 years old, I'm not involved in it anymore. There you go. That's a dub. That's such a big W.
Exactly.
exactly. And you don't have to say hip hip hooray to
Oh
catch.
God.
There's so many things where I'm like, hell no.
I agree. I think like I wasn't alive when LRH was alive. Like like
Yeah.
in the I mean he passed away in 86 in January 86. I wasn't like around in the 80s and stuff. But I would think that being a Scientologist under LRH would have been better than being a Scientologist under David Miscavige. That's what I personally think, based
And
on who
that's
I've
what
spoken
the
to.
OGs say. That's why there's an independent part of it.
Yeah, actually, that's a very good point. That's true. Also,
Yeah.
there's just there's not attempted murder and beatings and punching in the face and people being struck. I mean, under LRH, it was obviously bad. People were being thrown overboard and stuff. But like when I lay it
Right.
up, I'm like, LRH didn't come up with a new golden age and alter everything and change everything, and so it's not the best. And also. LRH did increase its memberships throughout the decades through Dianetics and Scientology and whatnot. David, by the way, I hate both of them, but David has tanked the whole fucking thing.
Oh yeah.
It's very impressive to because apparently some people say peak membership was in the 90s, and some people say peak membership was in the 70s. But it's like 250,000, 200,000, 150,000, and then you look at now when it's like 25,000 ish. But then you look at how many people are offline, how many people are online, so many people are currently active. He's done a chef's kiss job of just tanking the whole fucking thing. It's actually very impressive.
Yeah. I feel like there's a ton of under the radars. Ton
Yeah,
that don't
yeah,
believe this anymore, but because they don't want to lose their family or go into conditions or,
Yeah, they're
yeah,
chemo,
give up a
physically and
parent.
mentally out.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, yeah. Big time.
But
There's a
anyway,
lot of old timers that are slowly dying off.
yeah,
There's
and
going to be
well,
a huge gap.
and I feel bad for all the ones in Sea Org care,
Mm.
Oh
Sea
my
Org
god.
elderly care.
Yeah.
Like fuck.
Have you heard about Mike Brown's mom?
Rosemary? Yeah, how they stole
Rosemary?
$150,000-$60,000 from her.
Have you heard of Mike Brown?
I haven't.
Amir?
Give me a second. I will pull up my notes. I have them.
I suggest you look at his channel. His mom goes over stories, like he interviews her and goes
Yeah.
over the stories. He got her out of the Sea
Oh,
Org.
wow.
She was supposed to be on oxygen. She was dying.
Oh,
She was literally gave like a death sentence, and they kept saying like, you can drop the body now. You can drop the body.
oh my goodness.
Yeah,
Ah,
and he got her out of there. with the Aftermath
Foundation.
Foundation. Thank you. I was like,
Yeah.
what
They're
is
paying
it?
for all of her medical expenses and care.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow.
Got her out of
Wow.
there.
Well,
I
well
feel
done to
bad for
him.
her. She was on the PAC RPF from 59 to 65.
Yep.
Oof.
And then she was
Wow.
at the nursing care facility back at the age of 75 in 2023 with heart failure.
Yep. She was at the Gold Base and everything.
Mm-hmm. She was. Oh wait. I don't know if this is correct, but I'm assuming, and I could be wrong. Please, anyone, feel free to correct me. Her boss, when she was at INT, was possibly Guillaume Lesev. And I have boss started engaging in quid pro quo sexual behaviors.
Wow.
You
It
do this for
wasn't-
me, I do this for you. He lost his commander stripes after confessing this in a sec check. She was the EDIANT secretary at the Del Sol building.
But it was Ron.
Wow.
It was Ron Miscavige's brother.
Wait, we're talking about. Wait, I thought we were talking about Rosemary.
Rosemary was the secretary for not Guillaume.
Not Guillaume.
No, not him.
Oh, okay. Who was it?
It was a Miscavige. It was
Oh.
Betty's
Hang on.
husband.
Let me wait. You said
Jenna
Betty's husband?
Miscavige's father.
Ron Miscavige
Ronnie.
Jr.
Ronnie.
Yeah, Ron Miscavige Jr. It
Okay.
wanted massages, would be inappropriate, be in just a robe, expose himself. And so he got ethics, but so did she, because she was out too deep. She pulled it in. So
I also have that her boss at the time, before she was RPF'd, had blown, so they sent her to the RPF too. So apparently Ronnie had blown at one point. Or something.
I think they tried to blow later on.
Wow.
Yeah, she had $160,000 taken from her.
Yeah. They just charged her credit card.
Oh, I'm so happy not to be in that environment anymore.
So they
Thank
have
God.
a lawsuit. Yeah, they have a lawsuit
Oh my
coming.
God.
They do?
Yeah.
Oh, I hope. I haven't been able to keep up with everybody's stuff and what's going on, but I hope that goes well. I really do.
But no, they want it to end while she's still alive, but it's taking, they know it's going to take years to build up abuse of elderly, medical neglect, all these different things.
And even if they can build that case quickly,
he's
Scientology's still
doing
going to
it for
delay.
Yep, exactly. And that's why they haven't. He said, I'm not going to do a point by point because I really want this to be successful.
That's fair.
For his mom. And she's for it. I mean, there's letters, lawyer letters that she had sent to them for reimbursement and everything. So,
yeah. Wow.
But I suggest, go Rosemary Chippewa, because she was not a brown, but
she wasn't a brown?
No, she's Chippewa.
Oh, Chippewa's her maiden name. Okay. Hang on, then I gotta fix that.
Yep, Rosemary Chippewa.
All right.
But Mike Brown was he wasn't born in. He got in like maybe at 7, 8. I forget what exactly age, but he was at the Pack Ranch in the beginning.
Okay.
Not Pack Ranch, Int Ranch.
Yeah, I have him as a cadet at the Int Ranch from the age of 10.
Okay, so he got in at 10.
I don't know when he went to the Int base, but he did blow.
He went kind of as a teenager. I mean, I don't think he was really at the Int base for long. I think maybe 4 years, but they had to build it from scratch. they had to build their own beds, bunk
Mhm.
beds. They had, you know, and so he talks about it, and he was even on the wrong side of history when the German news came over, and so he was all part of that. It's so interesting,
Wow.
his history with and he escaped the Ant Ranch,
Mhm.
or
Wow.
not the the Ant
Ant
Base.
base.
Yeah, Gold Base. Yeah.
Do you know, I
Uh,
accidentally see when I was like reading a bunch of stuff and I was still an executive in the org, like I remember bringing up to the flag rep to the flag representative who just came back from FEBC training, and I was like, you know, I was listening to all these different lectures and tapes by LRH when I was doing my bridge and stuff and when I was doing my training, and it would always say Golden Era Productions, and then I remember bringing up Gold Base, and she was like, by mistake I brought up Gold Base. And she was like, "How do you know that?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, well, you know, there's Golden Hour Productions on the lecture at the very beginning and end." And I think someone had mentioned it before. She was like, "Wow, not even I know where that is." So the flag rep, who was at CC Int, came from Celebrity Centre, came to Scotland, did her OEC FEBC training, clear Class 5, superpower, did this mega confidential training for 3 years at Flag, doesn't even know where the gold base is. So I just find it interesting, like the stuff that you find on the internet and the stuff that you read about and the stuff in people's books. It's like I don't. It surprises me how little people know about it, and it really, really freaking highlights the information control. It's really
Their
fascinating.
excuse is that you're not up to the gradient level to understand, which is just a way to control people.
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
Holly was confused when I was reading her higher level. It's the same crap over and over and over again. She's like, I thought it would be better, and I was like, no. They
Mm,
just they just open up maybe a little sci-fi that we weren't originally from Earth. We were from, or this was TGAC, or you know, it's something that's like out there, and then
yeah.
it's just the same to keep you
think you
emotions.
froze.
And
There we go.
I froze. My internet's been weird at night.
Just for a little bit.
You know, in Antonio Ortega's Substack, like I think it was, yeah, it was this week that he posted it. But something that's really funny, like honestly, sometimes it's even funnier than like a Netflix special or like you know some of these stand-up comedians. But the success stories that people write when they finish courses and stuff, right? Like what they and you have to fill out. It's not optional. You have to fill out the success story when you finish a service. You have to. You get sent to the examiner and you have to fill out a success story. That's how you attest. That's how you finish stuff. And then when your FNVGIs floating, you get a floating needle on the meter and you're looking good, you've got very good indicators. Boom, you write you attest. But Tony put on his Substack someone's success story for OT3 at St. Hill Manor, the HQ in the UK. And someone was like, wow, it's almost like a sci-fi film. Someone
It's
put down
true.
their success story. I mean, that's brilliant. I think that's amazing.
Yeah. Kids have to do a success story, and second gens have said that they can't just say this was good. They want
I
more,
tried that
or they'll
once.
send you
Didn't work.
back, and yeah, and these are 6 and 7-year-olds that have to write these. And Mace
Oh, there it
Kingsley
is.
in
Yeah.
Florida, um, that one I'm really watching. So Osa, if you're watching this, our matey, if you put out another production of group Purif courses for these kids, not teachers, they're little
I love how you said is also
7,
watching
8,
and then
9,
it just started freezing.
6. All right, pirate. Okay, let's get this going. So,
They're good.
my goodness, Mace Kingsley is the one
There you go, some more OSA interference right there.
I know. Okay, so Mace Kingsley had Pack Ranch and whatever the ranch was in Arizona. They are based also in Florida. So these like they do auditing kids, babies, 3-month-old babies get a certificate. I've been watching them so closely because last summer they did this sign up for group Purif course or Purif. All these kids can do it all together. Isn't
Oh,
it like
God.
a fun summer camp? If they do it again, I swear to God, it's a pattern, and I am sending it to authorities in Florida, sending it to CPS, and a wellness check. Because
Do it.
these 6, 7, 8, 9, 10-year-olds are shoved into a sauna for 5 hours. They can't get out. There's even stories where like kids wanted out, and the person sat at the door, blocking them from leaving.
The Purify
sauna.
C.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I'm like, if I see that again, Osa, I am filing a report to someone, to anyone, that this is happening in their backyard of their town. Is this okay? Because do a self-aware, because you're hurting their bodies. This is not medical. This isn't spiritual. It's not proven that any, radiation or from the sun, UV light stores in your body and just, no, that's bullshit.
But don't they also claim that the Purif is purely spiritual and does not, like, they have to do the whole, like, FDA disclaimer bullshit of, like, we do not treat, cure, or diagnose any illness. This is purely for spiritual matters.
But I know, have you ever been to a gym that literally for the spa and sauna, under 14-year-olds cannot be exposed at all?
I mean, yeah, that seems pretty common sense.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And here they're like, come join, sign up. Sign up for death? Because people have died from the Purif. People have died from your religious experience.
It's true. Purif takes about 3 weeks. To do the Purif flag, it's $3,000, and to do the Purif in a normal organization, it's $1,500. Usually from when the Purif went on in Scotland, or when I wasn't Purify C, but people went and did their Purif and stuff. Some of them kids like we're talking about right now usually took about 3 weeks to do, and a lot of it's like it stinks. You cannot go near the Purif unless you have to, like I can't tell you the smell, because like even during COVID time when there was, I don't know, where people were spraying stuff in the rooms and indoors and things like that. I mean, I don't know what was coming out of their bodies, but there would be sleep. Like when you wake up and there's sleep in your eye, that was dripping like water down their eyes. That was the sleep that's in your eyes would come out. And there was I knew a guy who was in his 60s who took eye drops. That was coming out. All of that stuff was coming out. But the smell is just, you just cannot. You'll pass out. The smell is that bad. It's like, I don't know what to compare it to. It's like if you went back in time 500 years when people didn't have showers and they couldn't bathe. It's like that level of unbearable. It's like worse than a farm. So I don't know what was coming when people take that many vitamins and niacin and all that, and they take oil and they take more stuff, and then they sit. Like, I've been in a sauna. I love swimming, right? And I grew up swimming from when I was really, really young. I could probably sit in a sauna for 15 minutes and then I could stop breathing. So doing that for 5 hours, I never did my Purif, by the way, but sitting in there for 5 hours is bad, is brutal. I don't know, like, It's child abuse. Period. It's child abuse.
Yeah.
And I was gonna say, Journey, if you need any materials from the library, from the archive, I can direct you to them.
You've
Well,
got
I
an amazing
definitely want to
archive.
put in what entails the course, and I don't care if they had doctors sign off, Dr. Minkoff sign off on it. This is harmful. This is, you're, as a doctor, you're supposed to do no harm. No, I literally, and if Dr. Minkoff is the one signing off on these, I want his ass on the line.
Yeah, he should be held
But
accountable. I fully agree.
I mean, Lisa McPherson, what was that new one? I forget which new one. Her name. But there's
I'm sure Holly
there's
will
just
find
way
out.
too much under Minkoff. Way too much.
Yeah.
I think I want to say Mitchell, but I don't know.
Whitney?
Hi, everybody. I am a pirate. I accidentally rubbed vermiculite, perlite, and Coca-Cola media mix for potting. While I was potting cuttings, I rubbed my eye. I'm surprised this one didn't get it, but it's not ingestible. PSA warning: don't wipe your eyes when you're doing something dirty.
At least you can see out of one eye.
I know. Like, I was gonna say, there was a point, I think a week ago, a week and a half ago, a week and a half. I don't know. It was like less than 2 weeks, okay? But I am really bad with spicy foods, and there's a point where I went over with some people, and I was like, okay, fine, I'll try Tabasco sauce, and I was like, okay, I'll see. There's like an instant reaction there, but
Tabasco is the low end, motherfucker.
No, I'm so bad with spicy food. Like, it just ruins it for me. But I was like, okay, fine. So I grabbed Tabasco, started pouring it on the pasta, and then
pouring it? Okay.
I was like pouring it. I was like, because it kind of comes out in drops. So I was blah 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 on the pasta, and then I'm eating, and I'm like, oh, okay, it's quite hot. And then obviously you get sweaty, and then your nose gets runny, and your eyes start watering when it gets spicy and spicy and spicy. And I was like, oh my God. And I rubbed it in my eye. And I honestly, I went blind. And like literally like you, I was like, I went just by mistake, because I was like, oh my God, my eyes are watering because it's so spicy. And I was like this. And I went blind. I was like washing my eye with water to get it out. But I feel your pain.
Yeah.
Yeah, big mistake.
It's no fun. It's no fun. That's why I'm like, dress up. Meeting Amir for the first time. Not this crazy, but hey, when it just comes to you, you might as well dress it up.
The only thing you're missing is a hook for a hand.
I know.
That's funny.
I bled.
Oof, Amy. Why?
Ow.
Oh, that sucks.
Oh, man.
Jeez.
Holly, what are you drinking right now?
I got water in here and a salted caramel Java Monster Energy because I know I'm gonna crash because I've been up since 3 a.m.
Yeah, I knew you would have something very interesting.
I need to go over to Holly's house and have her mix me a drink.
Okay, you want a hibiscus havoc? I'll make that.
Yeah.
Or do you want like an ARC breaker?
I haven't heard of that before.
Well, there was a point on my channel where I was looking at like I threw like, what was it? It was I was with Fluffer Squirrel and I think we were doing an art stream and she's like, what would happen if you asked ChatGPT to make cocktail recipes based on Scientology concepts? And one of them was the ARC breaker.
Oh,
something like that. And it had like a bit of sour in there just to ruin it.
Wow. That's very interesting. Just thinking about that now, that's like, oh my God.
They said if
What were
there's
the
ever
other
any
ones?
kind of what?
What were the other ones? So you got
Oh
ARC
Jesus
Breaker.
Christ! This was so long ago. There was the ARC breaker. I'm pretty sure there was like some kind of OT3 volcano based drink, something like that.
Because there's very unique emotions connected to every one of these subjects. And I'm like, how the fuck would that taste? I'm like, because OT3 is just crazy, crazy.
Mhm.
Like acid
Yeah.
LSD trip shit.
Oh, that's when you start breaking out the handcuffs. When your religion says, let's break out the handcuffs.
Crazy shit, man. Yeah.
Anybody else connect the dots?
I know. OT3 volcano. Wow.
Part of me was
Actually,
thinking like some kind of flambe or some shit like that, some kind of flambe dish.
something like that for sure. I'd make it taste absolutely fucking insane if it's OT3 volcano. I mean, I don't. Someone brought it up recently, and you know, see when you like everyone knows OT3 is crazy. Everyone knows at that confidential level. I mean, there's others like OT2 is also equally as crazy because you start exercising things from your body. But OT3 is obviously nuts. But see when you forget about it and then you eventually come back to the idea and you just have a fresh take on it, it's like I think if someone took LSD in their bedroom or took acid, I don't think they'd even come up with that thing. Like that's just beyond LSD. Like I don't know what you have to take to come up with something like that.
Lots and lots
bombs.
of speed.
Well, see, here's the he took lots and lots of like alcohol, rum, and then you mix it with cigarettes and whatever pills
Lots
and
of
whatever
painkillers, a
is
lot
the
of
flavor of the island.
But like, it's just like not even someone on LSD. You know, a overpopulation problem on another planet with a guy called Xenu, who the elections were coming up, and so he wanted to get rid of. He wanted to handle the overpopulation problem. So he took some of his people, he froze them. He put them on DC-8 airplanes, which are similar to the ones that we have today, but there's some.
They were just made like 5 years before he came up with this.
Wow. Okay, so he put them on these planes, boxed them up, flew them over to. He renamed Earth to TGAC, flew them over, dropped them in volcanoes, blew them up with a.
The volcanoes didn't exist back then
So,
either.
I mean, obviously.
I'm like, there's so many holes.
I mean, exactly. You're right.
Yeah, and then threw these bodies into volcanoes.
Dude, wait, I was
mean, H-bombs
doing other
weren't a thing
stuff.
at
Did
that
we
time
miss
either.
the Thetan freezing?
Yeah, because he froze them and put them on
you
onto
missed
planes.
He froze them before
But the
he
thing
flew
is,
them.
didn't the atomic bomb? Massive fan of Oppenheimer, the film, by the way, because Chris
Never
Nolan's
saw
my
it.
guy. Oh, Holly, you
I want to
think
see it.
I think you'll love it. I think you'll love it. I saw it 13 times in IMAX, and then I bought the book, American Prometheus. But the H bomb, which came after the atomic bomb, was not around at the time he is claiming these events to take place. Okay, and then you drop H bombs in there, fine, and then you take them because you have this woo thing in the sky, and then you put implants in them and you indoctrinate them and you show them all this stuff, and then you let them loose, and then they attach themselves to us. Like that's beyond LSD. Like Holly said, not even someone who took LSD for 10 years would come up with shit like that. It's so unique.
But I think he experimented with a lot more.
Oh, he did.
I mean, his roommate
He had to
Jack
have
Parsons.
uppers and downers, and before even coming off one, he's doing another. So I truly believe that, and he was overweight. Not making fun of overweight people. Yeah. I'm overweight. But like he was overweight. So here he's not getting exercise. Someone's carrying his typewriter now. But he's bringing it, he's going, and he's just living off the island. telling people to go do this and do this. I mean, he has cash because he's avoiding all these different places
That house just got restored,
that
by
are
the way.
after him for fraud.
That house just
What?
got restored. COB announced that
I
that,
know.
yeah, it just
All
got
of them.
restored. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. That was their main, instead of opening
Yeah,
things.
yeah.
Did you see the peeling the onion thing where Hannah Whitfield said like the villa that they reproduced is not even like related to what Hubbard had?
I saw the video and it's on my watch list. Yeah. She's like, that's not, no, these were not fancy houses. They just like were like bunkers pretty much, wherever they can hide, you know, LRH for tax evasion. France had it's Aaron said bad checks, but it's actually practicing medicine without a
Yeah,
license.
and wasn't he sued for
Got
that
convicted.
in the early days of Dianetics too? Early
Yeah.
days of Scientology?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And so it's like he's just avoiding and going off on a ship, like, yay, with all these teenagers wearing barely anything, you know,
Yeah.
and then doing all these things. And it's like, I reached the firewall. Like, can you imagine coming out of the jungle, this big man, white man, just going, woo! And then you're all ethics. You go overboard. And then you have to do this whole ethics. Who was it? It was Peeling the Onion Janice. She said that quote for me because I asked it in the chat. Because there's a saying where it's like, it's something come over the water, wash something
the overboarding?
over you, and you're.
We cast
Yeah.
your sins to
And
the
she
ocean,
said
may
it,
you arise a
she's
better
like, I
Phaeton.
Chinese school that. Yeah, she Chinese school that. So can you just imagine everybody's just like free love, free everything. Woo! To be like, I'm never doing overboards.
Oh,
And it's like, can you imagine? It's just like we're living free, and we're in this Scientology, and we're gonna go, you
Clear
know,
the planet.
spread the word. But you look like you're, you know, truly pirates because they entered Clearwater and literally like, this is it.
They tried to do the same thing in
Peace.
Rhodesia, Zimbabwe as well. Just okay, that's it. We're going to turn this. I'm going to run for elected office, and this is going to be our place now. And it didn't really work out too well for him.
Right.
LRH is certainly a very ambitious guy. That's for sure. He's definitely did not think small.
Sorry, I'm just trying to see if I can find the actual little Bill of Rights thing he tried to put together for Rhodesia.
I'm going to enlarge my screen a little bit.
Oh my gosh. He's doing that. They're technically did that for Africa too. South Africa. The Bill of Rights. It's crazy to me.
Oh, wow.
But Mace Kingsley, you know, the Mace part of Kingsley, it's two last names, two people that came together. It has not been part of this whole going Scientology thing because they had a disagreement or something. So Mace is not part of Mace Kingsley anymore, but it's still going as Mace Kingsley.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I just feel bad for the parents who call that childcare. Not feel bad for the parents. I hate the fact that the parents are putting them in the situation. I feel bad for the kids.
They do wins too to promote it. I saw this mom going, oh, she loves going to session. She runs to her auditor and asks to be go in session.
That's not normal.
And she can be grounded with her emotions and blah blah blah. And I was like, girl, she can't even feel emotions by the end of it, because then you're out ethics.
No HE&R.
You're down low tone, and you're this and you're that, and here's what you do to
I mean, that's all
Yeah.
success stories are. It's just
Yeah.
trying to promote something. That's all. It's
Yeah.
there's success stories whenever you open the brochures for the Pura for SRD or for services. There's success stories to promote courses. There's success stories for recruitment for staff. I read one where the director of special affairs, where OSA put one out to because OSA are AGIC. Like I've been to the OSA office in the UK, in the UK HQ at St. Hill. I've met the OSA staff. I've met the commanding officer, CEO OSA. I've shaken their hands. I've met them all. I've seen what the office actually looks like, their workspaces and stuff. A lot of them are aging. They're getting on with age, so they desperately need more people in OSA UK. That's for sure. I don't know so much the States, but OSA UK
Oh yeah.
for sure need demand.
Oh no,
Yeah, I mean, I
everywhere.
would think so.
Yeah, I've been following them, and then I infiltrated a group. Hi, Osa. They already know it, but they don't know which one. And there's so much needed. Auditors, course
Yeah, big time.
supervisors, even their businesses, wise businesses. It's like we are hiring, and
Yeah.
it's like I'm like, why you can't get to even training?
Well, London
I'm
just
just
put it
like,
on their Instagram.
I don't
They
find
were
this
like,
a success.
welcome to the team. We're hiring. Come on board, join us. Like London openly putting it out on Instagram today. And that's the biggest organization in the UK. Just a normal, not an advanced, not an AO, just a normal organization where people can actually walk into. That's the biggest one. That literally those guys won the birthday game in the UK. They win it every single year. They're like, oh, we need people, we need people, we need people. So yeah, they're heavily on demand.
I mean, and I'm sure people are gonna walk in and then leave after they get their first paycheck.
These are sneaky bastards. I mean, like they'll sit you down, like for a staff recruitment kind of interview. They call it interviews, right? And they'll briefly go over it. So it's like, they're not going to say you're not going to make any money. What they'll say is like, you can get paid a lot, but it just depends on how the organization does that week. Depends on obviously what you'll be making and stuff. But the organization's doing pretty well and stuff. So anyway, and then they'll move on to the next thing. They're like very, very sneaky bastards.
Yeah, they're saying join our awesome team.
Yeah.
And it's like
We're a
And
family, because we never leave each other's fucking sight.
and they're all related as well. You've got the Miltons and the Wackley brothers in London, and you've got the Calders and Frasers in Scotland. Like everyone is like, that's why I say like it's only the diehards. It's like the diehards that are left. It's not casual guys that find it. I mean, I was one of like the rare breeds, but like someone that actually finds it and gets involved in it for years and years and sticks around and stuff. Like it, unless it's like wise, like you were saying before. But even that's masked because you're doing well in business, you've got a very good business, financially, you've got a good source of income, fantastic. Your buddy comes up to you, hey brother, listen, I know you did drugs or whatever in the past. I've got a really, really good detox program. I think you should do it. Okay. I'll even pay for you. Just come on. It's about 3 weeks or something, but we'll just detox your body and then it'll be good, for your business and stuff. Or, you should do this course, it will help you financially. Come with me. And then you're in. So they're very, very, and I was trained in these policies, like I'm a flag trained reg and stuff, but they're very sneaky bastards, like with the wording and they drill the shit. Every day they drill it. It's just effortless. They drill body control in 8C. And Holly, you've obviously read Upper and Doc and Pro TRs, and you've read these courses. Right? Even putting that aside, you've got staff TRs, and even if you haven't done that shit, you'll still drill it every single day because they'll just bring the reference, they'll just bring the policy from the course room or from Qual Library, and they'll bring up the policy and say, okay, LRH says, blah 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 TR9, so let's drill TR9. So you still drill this shit, but the point being, these guys are very fucking sneaky. These guys are very, very sneaky.
Yeah. Sacramento has a lot of the diehards. Original from before 1973, and they've been in Sacramento since 1973. So there's a lot of history there, but there are second gens and third gens that are coming out of there. So
Yeah.
It's crazy. That's why they're also at Sacramento. Before, do you know who Jefferson? What's
Hawkins?
Jefferson's last name?
Jeff Hawkins, yeah,
Hawkins
big time.
is?
I mean, he was at Gold Base. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
They've stole his ads. They're
I
putting his ads
had
back out now.
Really?
Yeah,
Yes.
you'll find it, I think, on... I'll send it to you. It might be on the Dianetics
Please.
Instagram page or Facebook page. But for last year, for the 75th anniversary of Dianetics, because, go back and look at Jeff's... I mean, everyone, obviously, you guys obviously know Jeff's ads in the 80s and what it did for Dianetics and stuff. But when COB never, David doesn't attend the Dianetics 75th anniversary. Sorry, the Dianetics anniversary. He doesn't, it's not a COB event. He didn't really attend those, but he did last year for the 75th anniversary. And they came out with the audio book, the ebook. They came out with the new cover. They came out with the pocket-sized edition. They came out with all this shit, which obviously they had to sell after the event and make a lot of money. And that was a big source of income and stuff. But they put back out those ads from the 80s and obviously Jeff has passed away recently, but they've got his ads back out there. Yeah, it's over their social media.
Scumbags.
They waited till he died because he's declared. Which I guess they don't think he's coming back. Everybody but Jefferson.
He's on an extended leave of absence.
I know.
Yeah.
But he worked at the Gold Base with one of the members of the Sacramento org, and she was on the Gold Base. Oh yeah, she's Sea Org. She is Sea Org. Samantha
Hang on,
Powell.
I know I have her.
Yeah, I know. She is. I call them groundskeeper. What was it? The maintenance.
Estates.
Some fancy word. Estates. Manager. So she cleans toilets and takes out the trash. And the last time he saw her, because they worked at the Gold Base, and their joke, because they had 5 cards, the birthing, food.
Birthing, food. Oh wait, bonus, liberties, and
bonus, liberties.
Yeah, T, please do send me that. That'd be cool.
Hang on. I know I have it.
They had 5 cards, but every single time, because they all worked in the Golden production, department. They got always every single week got all their 5 cards taken away, and they would laugh, saying, "We still got a breathing card." And so, come to find out, there it is: social, bonus, allowance, chow card, birthing card. So, Samantha Powell is the sister of
Karen, right?
Gosh, dang it, I'm horrible with names. Karen Powell, who is Karen Powell. Do you want to describe who Karen Powell is?
I don't have much info for her.
She is the public's.
I have her as OSTA related.
She's like the public speaker for any newspaper.
So
or
would you
anything
consider her like
Scientology.
Mike's old post, the international spokesperson?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Is she blonde?
No, she's brunette. She's short brunette hair.
Because there's a PR lady that gets up and speaks at these events, and her I've met, and she's in management, and she's some PR spokesperson, but I don't know who this is for some reason.
Do we know if Karen and Samantha are related to Marion?
Yes.
Okay.
That's their sister who passed away. And there's also a
Okay.
brother, Peter, I believe. He's in the Sea Org too.
Wait, I have Karen and Samantha as
Um,
cousins, not sisters. Oh, okay.
Nope, they're sisters. Yeah, if you can show Karen Powell's face, because she's pretty much the face of Scientology to the non-Scientologists. So I don't, but I know she's in the inner circle at Gold Base. She doesn't live on Gold Base either, which
I know,
surprises
right?
me. But Samantha Powell, the last time Jefferson saw her was at the Blue Building in Los Angeles.
Wow.
She was routing out with her best friend. And I'm trying to get the message, and since Jefferson passed, because I was talking to Jefferson about Samantha, and he believes she's being punished. This is punishment for her to be at a class 5 when she was in the Sea Org, trying to route out of the Sea Org with her best friend. And he wanted to know where her best friend was. Is she there with her? And I said no. And but getting to talk to any of them, because I said hello and they said my hello was threatening to the police, is what they called. And and I got a notice of trespass warning, and I never stepped foot in their building.
Wow.
So,
Wow.
but I really wanted to pass that message that Jefferson says hi and everything, and now that he's passed. So this is a porg.
Oh, from Mandalorian,
from
right?
Disneyland. Yeah.
Wow.
My daughter named him Potential because he has potential.
Wow.
He's gonna be your little buddy.
Yeah, he is my little buddy. So that's why I'm like, hey, do you have that porg that sits on your shoulder?
I will be
Wow.
back in a minute. I'm just gonna hit the bathroom.
I actually haven't seen The Mandalorian yet, so I'm like, oh wow.
Oh, well, this is even in the
Is
Star
it?
Wars.
Wow.
Yeah, the end of Star, because they filmed on
Yeah.
this island that had a ton of puffins, and they couldn't CGI them or really take them out, so they changed them to this guy.
Wow.
So all the little porgs you see are the puffins.
Wow.
They just made porgs.
I wish they used a lot more puppets than
Yeah.
CGI nowadays. That's what they used to do for the Spider-Man films, for like Doc Ock and stuff, is they would use puppets, and I love it. It's just
Yeah.
because it's in-camera special effects rather than computer-generated special effects, and it's a little bit more. It's cheaper for making films, and it's also very realistic
Yeah.
as well. So I love that. I wish more people did that nowadays. I don't know. Maybe I
Yeah.
should go back and rewatch that. I haven't seen Star Wars for years. Years.
It was it always comes in threes, I think. So like it was after the 70s, of course.
Star Wars?
Then the pre-one, yeah, then the pre-ones came, and then it was the last ones with Kylo Ren.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Adam Driver.
So,
Yeah. Wow.
So that one, it has the porgs, but other than that, I'm just always fascinated by the Star Wars world. It's kind of like this huge sci-fi, and that's the other thing. It's like,
yeah,
this came out and Hubbard got more, oh my gosh, I could totally do this, be a filmmaker. And
I was reading
you're
about
insane.
it. LRH wrote Cine EDs. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to find a copy or been able to read them, but they're called Cine EDs, and he just write. I've read his art book, where he talks about painting and photography. I mean, he talks about photography a lot, and not just in the art book. I mean, throughout the student hat, throughout lectures and several courses, he talks about his photography and all that kind of stuff. I also have it's in my bedroom because I have a whole collection of this stuff that I've managed to get. But there's also where he talks about music and he talks about how he used to play the organ. And he talks about the difficulty of that as well.
Yeah. Does his the cadence and everything just consistent just talking
Yeah,
and those audios are the
same
same
thing. I mean, he could just. I talked to Johnny Tech about this, and it's
thing?
like it's just not normal to write that much. You look at the size of of these volumes, and you look
No.
at the 3 hour
Yeah.
lectures that go
Yeah.
way off topic, way like that's why you get bored of
Yeah.
them. Is there's the title of the lecture is money, but then he goes off into government politics and beyond that, and it's like whoa, like, come back, like we're tackling this subject, and so people just doze off and fall asleep because it's like I wanted to listen to this and you're giving me this. So he yeah, I forgot the name of it, but he could just talk and talk and talk and write and write and write just way too much.
I have a question. Have you? I mean, I don't know if you. No, you didn't hold any kind of like course soup positions, did you?
Oh no, it's the last thing I would do. No, I didn't.
I was gonna say, did you know of any stories from course supervisors saying like people were like, "Why is Hubbard rambling on about such and such?" And then what was their like response to it? Or
Well, part of the soup, part of being a soup and wearing your hat as a soup is you can tell people what to do. It's extremely off policy to tell people what to do. You're not like a teacher at all. So you just have to help the student out, or there's word clearing is the answer to everything. And so, if a guy's like, so I don't understand. LRH is supposed to be talking about this, and he's obviously going way onto that and whatnot. And then the soup will be like, okay, fine. Well, how are you progressing? Well, I'm getting a little bit bored because LRH is obviously talking about this and this. Okay, well, bored is a symptom from MUs. And there's obviously, there's 3 study barriers. There's, gradients, lack of mass, and MUs, all covered in the student hat course. So, okay, fine, do some demos. Or, okay, fine, MUs. So, which word do you not fully understand? Okay, so let's clear up. They start using that tech because you're either by, too steep a gradient or there's lack of mass and you're not understanding it, or you've got MUs on the subject, you've got misunderstood words. So that, from my experience, because I brought it up, several other people brought it up in the course room, and I used to be very good friends. Like the supervisors, I was genuinely pretty friends with, and I would crack them up and they would crack me up. But that is their go-to thing is, do some more demos, or you've got misunderstood words. Come on, clear up your words. So let's go do an M4 on the meter, method for word clearing. But everything, like when I was being interrogated for talking to Alex on YouTube, the ED Malcolm would sit down with me and he would say, Amir, there's only 2 reasons that people blow. And Owen Hubbard's definition of blow is an unauthorized departure. There's only 2 reasons people blow: overts or MUs. That's it. Overts or MUs. You've got overts and withholds, you've got OWs, or MUs. You've got MUs on something. And in my case, Malcolm thought it was both, and also thought it was both. They thought I was a glib student because I did not apply LRH policy, enemy lines, and I didn't apply because I studied the ethics book, and so I was going way off policy. So they were like, okay, MUs, that's his problem, and also OWs, right? He wants to keep talking to these fucking guys, to these very, very suppressive people that are religious bigots that are out there to destroy the entire religion. Why the fuck would he want to talk to those guys? So he must have overts, OWs. He's got withholds, overts and withholds. So they just start using that very, and you just sit back like when you're not involved in the heat of that discussion, and you sit back from a different seat and you kind of, because when you're in a game, in a basketball game, or whatever, you're involved in the intensity of the game, or you can be a spectator and have that different perspective of the game because you're not feeling the intensity on the court or on the pitch. And so when you kind of look back at it from a different point of view, you're like, it's just fucking coercive control. It's just coercive control. That's all it is. It's just coercive control. What the outcome of this discussion, the outcome of this conversation, is you want me to just blindly obey you and listen to you and not speak to whoever I want to speak to, or not believe what I currently believe. That is the purpose, the sole purpose of this conversation, and what you want me to do, and what in management want me to do. So all of these methods of word clearing and OWs, OW write-ups, going on the meter, third-party law, all of this technology is part of psychological manipulation and coercive control. The wording is different, and obviously Eleanor Hubbard's come up with all this shit, but throughout human history, there is a fear factor of, listen, this guy knows best. You don't know, you're not fully head, you're not fully trained. I know a lot more policy, or Eleanor Hubbard is fucking source. It's Eleanor Hubbard's source. Source knows all this stuff. And I remember the E.D. Malcolm telling me that listen, he got his finger and he pointed to the PR series, and he pointed to Eleanor Hubbard, and he was like, this guy is a fucking smart guy, and I just recommend that you just listen to him. He knows what he's talking about when it comes to enemy lines and PR and blah, 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 all that kind of stuff. So it's just, I don't know what to say. It's just, it's like a slave in the master's house. It's like it's you being in a very, very psychological, abusive relationship. It's a fear factor. I know best. Trust me, I care about you, and I know best, but you just got to listen to me. You just got to you just got to listen to me, and you won't regret it. Just listen to me. Like, there's nothing for you there. You are fucked or doomed in some kind of way. Just listen to me, okay? And it's like, oh, okay, fine, okay. Just control. That's all it is. Just control, man. But you guys don't have to deal with that shit. Right? That's
Thank
a blessing. It's such a piece of work.
But speaking of I was gonna say like ethics and punishment and all that, I figure we can get to what we came here for, because we are an hour in on the pre-show.
It's crazy. It's been an
And
hour
I think
already.
I can see us talking for another 4. But
Let's do it.
sadly, I
book.
have to pull y'all's attention to something fucking stupid. Hang on, I gotta reload this. So
I might scare you all, but I need to take
Okay.
my badge off.
Oh, your eye doesn't look that bad. It just looks a little red and just a little puffy around the eye, but it doesn't look swollen shut like you said. It just looks partially open.
Oh, I've been taking out gross stuff.
How do you feel? How's it feeling
it,
now?
It hurts. It's too much pressure right here, and then the stuff gets stuck in my eye and hardens and feels like a rock. So I've been taking Q-tips. Right. I just emailed my doctor while you were talking. I heard the beginning of what you said, and then I went going, okay, it's vermiculite and pearlite, because it's only getting worse. This is since Tuesday, and It's been slightly just, yeah. And I didn't flush my eye because I didn't think of it until later that night. And I'm like, well, I'm already ingested.
You don't realize it until you actually start hurting.
Right. My eye is like bloodshot too. So we've been doing eye drops, but it burns way worse than just the water. And it's supposed to take the redness, but it's been hurting.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, guys, I'm going to jump over to the bathroom just before we start this incredible revelation
Yeah.
by
Yes.
LMH, okay?
Don't give him too much credit.
I know. Oh, just the preface.
I'm going to be blown away.
No, it's not.
Completely blown away by this ethics book.
I know.
It's just, it really sets like it's going to change your life, guys. This is.
I was gonna say,
source.
how would you promote this to a newbie?
I never had to sell. I mean, I've sold extension course packages where people buy because they're $20 extension courses plus the book if you don't have the book. I mean, I think the ethics book is about $13 or something, so like $33 or something. But I used to sell packages instead of the books. But I mean, I would sit down with the person, and if they were doing their level 0 and they had to do all their basic books, because you know, if you want to be an auditor and you want to do level 0, you have to do every single basic book. You don't have a choice. So I'd be like, all right, cool. So, you know, you can't be an auditor without it, so let's just get you signed up for it. And if they said yeah, I'd be like, great. It's a very, very cheap book. You know, you don't really have to sell them on thousands of hours of counseling. Yeah, I never really had any problems actually selling that book. But if someone said no, then obviously you'd start pulling out all the LRH policy, and you'd probably pull out the Les Dane book, Big League Sales, and you just start using shit from there to try to close the person. It's very Wolf of Wall Street being a reg. You're in a very fancy suit in either a very fancy office or a very shitty office, trying to make thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars, selling a bunch of services that are a bunch of shit. It's very intense. You don't really sleep much. It's, yeah, I don't know. It just gave me Jordan Belfort vibes in the Wolf of Wall Street. Except you don't get fucking rich from it. You don't get rich at all from from doing it. You make them rich, but I mean, you don't get very rich yourself. But anyway, I'm looking forward to this traumatizing book, and I will be back in 2 minutes.
I sold it
it's
to many
about
people.
accurate
You'll
for how I
enjoy it.
feel about this. I'm excited to go into the nonsense.
I know. Well, just the beginning.
I do have to refresh. I will be right back.
Yeah. Okay, guys. I've been trying to join chat. I can only see it, but I don't know where to type. Holly, you good? No.
Test. Hi. Cool.
Hi.
Let's hope my computer doesn't shit on me like it did last time.
Install in the lower eyelid to help the medication. I feel like, so I'm afraid of I'm afraid of things coming to my face. And drops are like this mini missile. You don't know when
You're just sitting there, just going like.
And so I squirm. Well, my husband has to. I can't. I'm like, I know. So I'm like this. So it's really, really red underneath my eye because the stuff keeps draining today. But yesterday I woke up completely swollen, but not like here, but like literally swollen here. And I only emailed my doctor Thursday. Then Friday came swollen, and they said keep doing what you're doing. Add eye drops, and then today it's been really draining. But then I was like, maybe I should tell him what it was, not just a regular sty that you get. So I just emailed him. Someone will get back to me if I'm gonna lose my eye or not. Sure, it's gonna be fine, but it just might be a longer journey to actually heal. But yeah, it sucks, but it's I just can't believe I did that. I'm 44 years old now, and I'm just like, with a really dirty hand. Oh, the new Dianetics promotion or little infomercial or whatever it's called, commercial. I get it
Oh, God.
nonstop. It is the worst. It's like, do you want to get stressed, be stress free or get rid of stress for good? And I'm like, you
Page
can't.
47.
It'll keep coming. That's how you deal with it. And so I always yell at it before I skip it. I'm like, you're stupid. Yes, Amy, I've been doing both and hot showers. I took 2 showers today to rinse it out because it's just stuck there and hardening and pushing. It's the worst. I've never had something like this. I had a sty when I was like a teenager, but this is a whole different. This is not like I use my friend's mascara when I wasn't supposed to. This is putting shredded coconut shell and other that's what Coca-Cola is.
Aha.
Yeah, it's the coconut shell, and then the perlite is very light and it's white. It's like it comes from little rocks.
Ah, yes. Put the little rocks near your eye.
That's what I'm saying. I should tell him what I put.
I thought you would have the first day. Why not? I feel like that's a determination as to what needs to be done.
Well, even another person said, "Did you flush your eye?" I'm like, nah.
Even more.
I drank from a hose as a kid. Okay.
Hey, so did I.
I've dealt with rocks before. Okay. Random soil, mud pile.
We toughed it out. We ate the lead paint chips.
Who needs sanitation?
But wait a minute. Hold on. I was about to say, Amy said I had to do a presentation in nursing school on conjunctivitis. Oh, did you have a picture of Hubbard in there?
Oh my God.
Would allowing an ice cube to melt on your nose and get the cold water in your eye be a good idea? Says Peter.
Yeah. Just an unclean surface. It just makes sweat and everything.
Oh my God. But anyway, so not only are we looking at the ethics book, we are also going to be looking at the ethics extension course for the book. I blacked out the addresses and like personally identifiable information because this is an already pre-filled out course, although it was not necessarily well scanned.
94%.
Flunk! You need to be starring.
Yeah. Number 2, questions for upgrade to 100%. Yeah.
Just made me spit out. I don't know what I did, but I was gonna say I know I sent y'all copies in case you want to follow along in your own stuff, but I don't know. How do we want to do this?
Yes.
However you like.
Just go back and forth reading, I guess.
I know.
There's a lot of shit in this book. I mean, this book was just in like the government in the UK. Alex Burns-Ross brought it in Parliament and just was telling people. He was in the Parliament this week and he brought the ethics book in and he was like telling government officials about it and MPs and stuff. But disconnection is in this book. Suppressive acts are in this book. There's a whole chapter, high crimes, ComEvs, SPs.
Hitler's in the book. Aristotle's in the book.
It's very deep. Like all the ethical punishments,
conditions, formulas, and
all of the conditions are in this book. There's a lot. There's a lot. I mean, I think the extension course has 24 lessons. Something
back
like
to
that.
the picture of this book. Is that supposed to be Jesus in a robe, judge robe?
It's supposed to be a judge.
Because it ain't Hubbard.
It's supposed to be a judge.
Okay, he has a long ass white beard.
I was gonna say it reminds me of the portrayal of Hubbard in what was it, The Prophet? Like from hang on, I think it was from like the early 2000s. It was like a little independent film or something, but it was it was relating to Scientology and it was making fun of it. Yeah. Hold on. Distribution was prohibited by an American court order because of a lawsuit from the church. Of course it fucking did. The Times have characterized The Prophet as a banned film in the United States. They called themselves, the main character was L. Conrad Powers, and the organization was called the Church of Scientific Spiritualism.
Yes. So so here's the thing. That's a second gen, I believe. Scientologist that made that film. He was 20 at the time. In his teens, he worked for Disney or World or and did Scientology. But it was his big FU, and it was supposed to premiere also in Clearwater. And all I have is that in 3 weeks it's supposed to go open, but I don't know if Scientology.
I wouldn't be surprised if they did.
Because they blocked it from even He's like, you get what you get out of it. But it's all because I watched like the first 30 minutes on a live stream. And it's basically it makes fun of Scientology. It's pretty good. It's pretty spot on though.
Yeah, it makes fun of a lot of Hubbard's life too, which is awesome. Not just Scientology. So it's like I think it starts with the whole Jack Parsons thing.
Can you send it to me? Can you guys both?
Yes.
I haven't seen it.
Yes, anywhere he steals Sarah from him, go sell on a boat. That's where I stopped because they were kind of in a sex cult too.
Wow. Isn't it just amazing how LRH shared a room with fucking Jack Parsons? Out of all people, it had to be an Aleister Crowley follow. Like, of all people, he shares a room with Jack Parsons.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm just like so struck by that. I'm like, fuck it, out of all people in the world, your roommate is Jack Parsons.
No, he was a con man. It's however you can get ahead.
Trying to add The Prophet to my archive so I can send the link.
Same thing with he got a Purple Heart. No, he didn't. He didn't save
I don't know
anybody.
how you share a room with Jack Parsons.
Shot at Mexico. That's what's crazy because my grandfather was in the Navy around the same time.
Oh, wow.
Because he was in World War II and he was in the boiler room. Now, if he knew an officer was ever like this, totally take him out. Yeah, The Prophet is on YouTube.
Oh.
That's where I was streaming it from.
Wow. I don't know, like, how long do you think you would last sharing a room with Jack Parsons?
How long would I last what?
How long do you think?
With Jack Parsons?
Well, I mean, either or, but I mean, I think that like that would creep me the fuck out and I'd be out of there immediately.
I've met weirder people.
With Jack Parsons?
Really?
So, I mean, I'm going to be honest. If he's practicing fucking occult sex shit, I'm just keep me out of the room. I don't want to be involved, but you do you.
Well, see, both Hubbard and him were under Crowley. And then Jack was like, I want to start my own. And Hubbard's like, okay. And then, so Hubbard's more of the weird one.
I mean, LRH is very weird. And obviously Crowley had the Golden Dawn. And when I was there, every single week to count as because there's a lot of stat pushes in Scientology and stuff, right? And I had to do the Golden Dawn lectures. I did almost all 13 Golden Dawn lectures, which is very, very trippy. I don't know if someone has access to the Golden Dawn lectures, but you get processing directly from LRH. and it's just, go 3 feet back your head, and all these very quirky kind of commands that just change your reality.
Well, that's what's so
Yeah.
weird. Like, have you ever attended one of the Sunday services where they literally
Yeah.
are like,
Yeah, I did. I went when I was a public, and
you
when I was a
know,
staff member, I went to those Sunday services.
but you had to do like kind of locationals of like, look at the wall,
Could be. I had
look
to do
at
that
your
staff
head,
meeting.
then look behind your head.
Yeah. Sunday service is supposed to be group
Yeah.
processing, and this person's supposed to end
Yes.
up reading from that massive, which is bigger than the OEC volumes, by the way, that massive minister book that LRH wrote, which is the same book that you deliver christenings and funeral services in an organization, and marriages.
It blows my mind. There's
I mean,
christenings.
Scientologists celebrate Christmas and Easter. It doesn't make any sense.
They celebrate the economy general. They don't celebrate the actual
It's
reason.
hilarious. I mean, obviously the whole religious stuff is purely for legal reasons because of they reap the benefits from it. But it's just amazing how they
Yeah.
would go about calling themselves religion and celebrate Easter and Christmas and call themselves a church and have a Sunday service and have a chapel and have a whole
Yeah.
department which is underneath the chaplain, and it's just like, wow, so original.
All the OGs know that it was not
Yeah.
real. They all knew it was
Yeah.
a joke. But it was to get the nonprofit status. So you didn't have to pay taxes. Still to this day, there are Scientologists that do not want to pay taxes. So a lot of the missions are like not filed correctly. So then they are not part of anything. They like close because of that.
Yeah.
In Dubai, there is this wise company that encourages people to, if they have a business anywhere in the world, come and open it in Dubai, open a bank account in Dubai for it, because you do not pay taxes on that bank account.
Yep.
It is yours. But England, I think you have to declare it, and America and US, you have to declare it, that you do have a bank account in Dubai. But they say it's because that you don't have to pay taxes for it. It's all yours. And it's just like, do you know why there's taxes? It just amazes
I know, it amazes me too. But there you go. There you go. You find
Yeah.
the true intention of these guys.
It's all
Yeah.
for them. Yeah.
Throughout the ages, man has struggled with the subjects of right and wrong and ethics and justice. Wow.
And I think we did pretty okay with it over the last fucking 10,000 more years. But we've killed criminals and took care of thieves and shit. We've had the stockades.
Wow. And then boom, he just gets into the dictionary definition of ethics. He loves semantics. I never really paid attention to semantics and just like the general meaning of words and stuff, but I mean, he just loves it.
It's the sentence structure that
What, the
gets
run-on
me.
sentences?
Because you can add words into anything.
Yeah.
And it still doesn't belong in that sentence structure or how it's placed or what the word is used for.
Yeah.
He alters definitions to where it's like,
he says in
what?
the PR series it took him 1 full hour to word clear the definition of PR, which, by the way, was his definition of PR. He redefined the word PR, and it took him 1 full hour to word clear his own definition of it. Because he has to look up every single word in the definition. I mean, it's just like, fucking hell, man.
Shit. Anywho. Okay, so we got dictionary stuff for ethics and justice, blah, 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 blah. As you can see, these terms have become confused. Hold on, I'm gonna check out his definitions quick because I kind of skimmed over them.
Yeah,
So
yeah, go
ethics
for
is
it.
the study of the general nature of morals and of the specific moral choices to be made by the individual in his relationship with others. Fine, whatever.
So it says that's the dictionary definition of ethics, okay?
Oh, okay, that's why. So I'm not worried about him redefining it at this point.
Yeah. It doesn't say
No,
the
it gets
dictionary, does it? It just says
weirder.
dictionary defines. Interesting.
And there he goes, claiming that people never solved problems.
Yeah, LRH never backs up his points.
And that's what pisses me off too. Like, he'll mention, I don't know, it's just random shit, but it's like, even if I can't verify it now, he'll be like, was it reading like a policy or something? He's like, I once dealt with an org that was so bad because the ED was doing blah 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 blah, blah or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's like, and I got it turned around. Can you at least say what the org was? Like anything.
Yeah, he doesn't back up his points at all.
And what they
Exactly.
were doing wrong.
He was
and
goofing
how
the
you
floof.
fixed
That's about the
it.
only explanation you get.
Yeah. You know, in Marty Rathbun's blog, the former Inspector General of RTC, he obviously gives a lot of his thoughts on things. In fact, Marty Rathbun even came up with a book just on the problems of Scientology nowadays. And he's like, you know, a lot of the time LRH will just say, okay, well, these guys fucked up here, these guys fucked up there, he did this wrong, she did that wrong, but doesn't always offer a solution. It's more just, I came in, I solved the problem. Happy days, you know, and he'll come up with that kind of stuff. The more you read his material, the more you listen to his lectures, it's like, you know, Hitler lost the war because he put all this personnel into the camps. And if he didn't have that personnel into the camps, then, you know, he would have had more personnel and they would have strategically been there and there and there, blah, 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 blah. But he, you know, it's just waffling. He's just talking shit in a microphone. Like he really, he gives no sources. I mean, even just there in the first line, it's like the dictionary definition is that. I mean, which dictionary the hell are you talking about? That's hilarious, the Yiddish word for LRH. He also goes into just the problems with the Catholic Church and why confessions are wrong and why his form of confession is correct and how it doesn't fully get off your... It's in the chapter called Honesty. He actually tackles that subject. But he has some very interesting takes.
What do you mean he goes after the church, Catholic Church? This is non-denominational.
What do you mean he shits on everybody else?
All are welcomed. Oh, wait. What you have been doing was wrong. Let me show you. Right.
He contradicts himself in so many different... I mean, in the ethics book, under suppressive acts in the ethics book, right here, he says that you cannot publicly leave Scientology, and he says that it is a suppressive act and a high crime, and you will get a COMEV, or, you know, you can get other things as well, right? There's a court of ethics, there's other things. If you report any Scientologist or Scientology to law enforcement, so you can't do it. It's a high crime, suppressive act. That's what LRH says, that's what Source says. But then in The Way to Happiness, it says respect the law of the land. I mean...
That's completely illegal. If a person feels like they need to call 911, no one can say, don't call 911 because this will happen to you and this will happen to you.
Well,
that's called coercion.
Big time. But I mean, it's just he contradicts himself. How can you respect the law of the land and follow that precept, but then you can't report any illegal activity that Scientology or Scientologists are doing to law enforcement? Completely contradictory. Completely. So he, through those millions and millions and millions of words that he's written, and through those lectures, and through those 3,000 lectures, there's countless contradictions throughout his manuscripts. It's quite comic, actually.
Amir, I have a question. What would a CS do if I was doing stuff like this? If I was in the courtroom, do you think, and I was highlighting these things that are very clearly just bold ass assertions without any evidence whatsoever, and I tried to look at it from a logical perspective without trying to come off as hostile, what do you think would happen if I did this?
They would ask you immediately, what are you having difficulty with? And the way that you answer that question determines everything. If you say that I don't agree with it, they might show you New Science on Life, chapter 2 of New Science on Life, personal integrity. Well, listen, it's only truth is true for you. You don't have to agree with it. Just keep going, continue with your course.
They say you don't have to agree with it, but you have to agree with it.
Yeah, you have to obey it.
But that's where that one Scientologist, and I can't remember his name, but he was on with Aaron saying that you pick what you want to believe. And Aaron got mad saying, no, you have to believe everything. And because he was public, this Scientologist, he's like, no, you just pick what you want to believe.
Well,
Cool. I picked not to believe in sex checks.
Probably because he's been told. Well, he's probably been told that many of times to where he's like, okay, I don't have to believe that. I don't have to believe that.
I was told that I don't have to believe it, but I have to obey it. And I was told that through my interrogations. But there was a point where I was studying. I can't remember which course it was. Maybe I was reading PTSSP. Maybe I was doing something. I don't know. Maybe I was reading. It was something. It was something I was reading. And there was Stanislavski, who is a Russian who taught acting and who taught, the famous method acting and stuff. And there's a lot of it I love. And I have like multiple books of Stanislavski in my house. And LRH shits on it and says that method acting is a very, very bad thing. Stanislavski, he actually names him. Stanislavski's approach is terrible because you have to go back. You have to perhaps revisit traumatic experiences to channel certain emotions. He's like, no, you got to be in PT. You got to be in present time. And also when Tom talks about acting and stuff, he's like, I'm very much in the moment. I'm in PT. I'm in present time. And I was like, well, Soup, I don't agree with this statement. And he was like, all right, cool. You don't have to agree with it. New Start on Life, Chapter 2,
Yes,
Personal
Peter.
Integrity. It's only truth. It's true for you. But you have to obey it. You still have to get star rates. You still have to get checked out on it. You still have to pass it. You still have to read that page and understand it and do demos and sketches. You have to obey it. You still have to obey it no matter what. And I tried that trick with it so many times. I was like, listen, I want to speak to Alex. I want to speak to Aaron. I want to speak to this guy. I want to speak to that guy because I'm a big freedom of speech guy and I think you should be able to talk to whoever you want to talk to. And they're like, okay, fine. I mean, you can keep your personal integrity, but LRH says this. These guys are guilty of this suppressive act. These guys are guilty of this, and this. Also, here's a policy from the PR series called Enemy Lines. You don't forward enemy lines. You make your own bigger and better campaign. And here's a policy from the Admin Know-How series. And here's a policy from here. And here's a policy from there. Point being,
did they not talk about confront
exactly.
and shatter?
But the point being is well, I mean, that's another thing because they pick and choose when you use certain policies and when you don't use certain policies. They're very corrupt in that sense. But you just have to obey it. And I came to that conclusion when I went through those interrogation meetings and that. Honestly, it was like a hearing. Like you sit down in a very, very small room with a desk and paperwork and policies and references and, a director of special affairs and, dead agenting and websites, hate websites, Stan League, honestly, it's literally like a hearing. But point being is with these guys, you just have to obey L. Ron Hubbard policy. You just have to obey it. It's like a false sense of freedom.
Yeah, no, I'd be getting probably sent to ethics pretty quickly after getting into the course room.
I mean, if you came in 2 seconds late, you'd be getting sent to ethics. It's like course starts at 3 o'clock, and you come in at 3 o'clock, but it's been 20 seconds. It's like, I'm here, 3 o'clock. Ethics, I'm writing you.
And that's so stupid. It's like, I know it's to build compliance and enforcement, but you would think that, I don't know, part of me would think that Scientologists would be like, hey, if we have a public image, a public facing image, I'm not gonna be this much of a strict asshole. But then again, I'm sure if you're being this strict of an asshole, you're in a Division 4 course room, not a Div 6 one.
Yeah, that's true. That's true, for sure. Div 6 guys get a But then in a normal organization, that's not ideal. That's not an ideal organization. There's only one course room. So
Yep.
you cram it. You'd still be nice to the new Div 6 guys because you don't want them to blow. But the Div 4 guys will get nailed. Like, they don't show up late. Because you show up, it's 3 o'clock, but it's 3 o'clock and it's been 25 seconds. Immediately, because all soups have a timer, all soups have a clock. They have it like on their phone or whatever. And as soon as it strikes 3, like it's 58, 59, 3 o'clock, roll call, David here, Samantha here. And if you show up when he's reading that, you are fucked. Like, you're going to be seeing the ethics officer a lot.
So it's like a mini muster.
Kind of sounds
Exactly.
like it.
Yeah, exactly.
Jesus.
And it's like I'm paying for
I'm
this
paying
shit.
to be infantilized.
Well, this is why it's like the master and servant.
And then you have to get
It's just
PTS
like,
handling because you're only late that 2 or 3 times, or maybe you're on time but you're late by 25 seconds, or you're late by 1 minute. It's 3:01. Your PTS. Per LRH, your PTS.
And I don't know, I'm thinking about this now, especially with the whole PTS and like getting into accidents and all that. So my brain thinks of it like this, thinks of Scientologist gets into car accident, Scientologist is being given the ringer of what did you do to pull in the accident and shit like that. Okay, what if there were 2 Scientologists that both got into an accident against each other? Who's the one that pulled it in?
Both of them.
I know the answer. It's both of them, but here's the thing. It's also someone that either is a celebrity or does more, for the cause. They're seen more as an active participant versus someone that's just paying for services. If they're a volunteer or if they're on staff or if they're, somehow they're seen as an above person other than the person below.
Just sounds like it falls into ethics protection.
Mm-hmm.
Ethics protection, what a load of shit. I mean, my stats, I got the bodies in the shop into a 5-week affluence, but at this time, I mean, I was talking to declared suppressive people online because, LRH says to respect the law of the land, and we have the freedom of expression, we have the freedom of speech, so I am respecting the law of the land. And also just my own personal, I think you should speak to whoever you want to speak to, and nobody has that level of control in your life. And that completely went out of the window. I didn't get any fucking ethics protection. I got put on an ethics program where I had to go and redo a bunch of stuff that would have taken me months. Plus, I got my ass handed to me with heavy manual labor in the Life Improvement Center, and I got taken off post. I never got demoted, but you can't do your job until you do that. And then when you do that, then you can go back and do your job. So I never got demoted, but I got taken off post. So it's just ethics protection. I laugh at it. It's just a load of shit.
It is, but it's also, they saw it as probably most likely a PR nightmare with you because you already made up your mind to do a live without asking permission. So therefore, that's why, they
it's a funny
you
one
up.
because Aaron Smith Levin said, and I didn't do a video with him in this video that he's saying that, but he's like, also and Chris Shelton said this, and a lot of people said it, but like when this was ongoing, they were like also are in such a unique position because it's never happened before. No staff executive has, without no permission, has went home and said, "Oh, I'm going to talk to this guy." I declared as beyond usual. Why not? That has never been done before, and so also in the
it hasn't. Which I'm surprised.
But also in the unique.
They can't look anywhere. They can't talk to this person. I mean, they are literally so programmed to do what they say, not what you want to do, that they don't even dream that that could happen. And you kind of burst their bubble with,
Karen
holy
told me that
crap,
as well.
that person thinks he has freedom of
That's true.
speech.
The unique position is,
Be back in a minute.
if they treated me like absolute garbage and came down on me with ethics, it's gonna backfire. Like it has now. And I'm talking about it, and I'm talking about
Yeah.
just being a complete dick to me and just putting me through modern day slavery for just fucking talking to somebody and encouraging open dialogue. Or they could, clear up with me and say, no, you're all good, everything's fine. And it could have been a very smooth handling. But then, I don't know, maybe more, it could have created some sort of revolution where more people come out and start speaking to declared SPs and stuff. So it's a very.
Well, you didn't have family in Scientology,
No,
though, right?
no, just me.
That's the other key, because your family members, their friends, other people would have totally handled you
Yeah.
in the background and told you, it kind of like coaxed you
Yeah.
back in
Yeah.
the fold. And that's what happens so many times. All the stories that I have heard from Scientologists, that's why they don't leave, is because they will not be able to talk to these people. That it would, totally backfire on them and turbulate them, or, they use all the Scientology terms of how bad of a person you are, because that person you talk to is
Yeah.
no good. Nothing good can come of that. Keep Scientology working. And it's just a mind fuck.
Completely.
And so you had that, going for you. Also, there's all these NDAs that people have
Yeah.
signed that they cannot talk. I will never give up my freedom of speech.
I mean, I didn't sign shit.
Because I know no matter what I sign, I'm going to
True.
talk.
I mean, I never
So-
rooted out. If you leave staff, you're supposed to route out via HCO. I never routed out via HCO. I did 1 day of messed work in the 1 day of hard manual labor, and then I fucked off. I grabbed a grocery store bag, packed my bags, put all my certificates, my awards, my commendations, my suit, my jacket in that bag, left via the emergency exit, and then went publicly about how I was treated for freedom of speech. So I never routed out. I never signed shit. Plus, I mean, Andy.
Because that's how they get you. They get you in that room, and you cannot leave until they get what they want.
Yeah, it's true.
That's how they get every single person, unless they leave dramatically like you, or Valerie Haney in the back of a car, a trunk. Just insane. Escapes.
Or I think it was no, I'm sorry to cut you off. I was just gonna say Claire. I think Claire had no, it wasn't Claire. Well, Claire's was crazy, but no, there was someone, I forget who it was. I wanna say Amy Scobie, but I could be wrong. Someone was about to be apprehended at a train station or an airport or something, and they said and they sat down. Oh no.
That was
Oh, it was.
Claire Headley. She sat on the bag and literally sat.
Didn't they say didn't she say I'm gonna scream if you do it?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, she screamed. Yeah, and that's why they didn't touch her. But usually they don't scream. Usually they don't want to get any more trouble.
I was gonna say, if you want to scream, you have to get past the thought policing.
I think they were she was supposed to be meeting Mark at the bus station, her husband, because Mark had just left on a motorcycle, and she was like, if you touch me, I'm gonna fucking scream. So
she had been what was it? She had gone to the local Walmart or something for an eye exam, and then got into a taxi 3 minutes later.
That's right.
Yeah.
Fucking, I mean, amazing story, but
Mark Headley left
Yep,
first.
he left first, and then he helped her get out. I can't wait for her book to come out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know she's been working on it.
Yeah.
Maybe
Ron
like-
Miscavige is also I mean, Ron Miscavige planned that for months. That was like 6 months of
Yeah.
planning. And David gave him
Well, I
an
mean, they had no
iPad.
internet, and all of a sudden he has a book nook with internet. He's like,
Yeah. It's crazy. I mean, David
yeah. Just imagine. That's why they're in a bubble and they can't speak to anybody or talk to anybody, look up anything that's not a Scientologist.
That's true.
And there's always a word for it that you're not in good, you're not a good person if you do this. You're not, ethics
wow.
handling, interrogation, like all these stuff just down the line. And that's why there were so many unalivings. I'm surprised not to hear more. But they keep it all under wraps too, which I don't understand how they can do, how they can get away with. Because Aaron Poulin's story never made the news in the late 1990s. He while they were changing the N to in Los Angeles into the information center, info, he hung himself.
Wow.
And that did not make the news. He immediately, and he was 19 or 20, 21, something. He was so young. But it's because he was always low tone, and they were trying to make his wife divorce him because she was going up in the ranks and he was not. And come to find out, after his death, he had solicited gay prostitution.
Oof.
And that, for a Scientologist, he just, So, and they were second generations. And she has since left. Her name is Mary Billheimer. She did an episode of, I think the first or second episode of the Aftermath.
I
talking about that
have
story.
that he was prostituting, not that he was trying to get a prostitute for some reason. I have that he was a prostitute. I don't know why I have that, but
He was he had a ticket to appear for prostitution.
Disorderly conduct,
And
I think.
I don't know. Yeah, so I don't know if it's because he offered or he was offered and accepted. I don't know which way, but it came out afterwards, and she wished she could talk to the wife, Marie, to him, but they never could. But it was one of those things where they were young loves, first loves, and she wished she could understand him instead of being told. And she went to go see him down at the information. It was all in construction, and they said, "Okay, get your ethics in, or whatever." And she was handled, and she could not tell anybody in her office that he just.
And then 3 days.
Could not cry. She could not interpolate anything. No.
Oh,
she had
Kristen Catano from OSA helped talk to her, and they decided that it was best that she leave post after the death. No one else knew what happened, so they just treated her like shit. She was put in in her regular berthing and then written up for abandoning her post, even though they agreed to do that. 3 days.
Oh my gosh! See, I have not heard her story.
After his death, they played the marriage lecture. They played a marriage lecture in front of 800 people. She got up and walked out.
Scientology is so low. No, I can't use this. Thank you for your towel. I have a cat in the drawer. I have. She just swished her tail on my wet thing. They know nothing about ethics or how to handle humanity. And for them to be like piece together, like we solve problems. No, you shovel them, you bury them super deep, and then you're re-traumatized by being put on hard labor through lectures, through interrogation, put on the meter, and to especially the second gens, it reads your thoughts. It automatically reads your thoughts. So just being placed on the cans, you can't get away. That to me is so illegal in so many ways because you just put someone in a restraint. It's invisible. But
well,
it's
never
still
mind just that, but you also got to
it.
consider model session, the policy or bulletin called model session about how the pre-clear is sat farthest from the door.
Yeah.
Or
isn't that insane that no one sees any red flags? Or like this is just how the policy.
This is how you have to handle people. The auditing maxims, fucking way out is the way through. Get the PC through it, and what turns it on will turn it off. Like those right there are insane abuse when used, when applied.
Yeah.
You know, in traditional therapy,
right,
you sit down with a counselor and you talk about what you want to talk about with the therapist and you control it. Anything you don't want to talk about, you don't have to talk about it. And anything you do want to talk about and how much you open up to your therapist is completely on you. But you are in full control of the situation. If you want to end the therapy session, then you perfectly you can talk about whatever you want to talk about. You're in control. Whereas when it comes to not just Dianetics counseling, not just self-analysis counseling, not but when it comes to doing your bridge and stuff, obviously I'm not talking about solo auditing, but on the road to clear, the auditor is in complete control and you're at his mercy. He controls the session. He controls how long you stay on something for. He controls when you're looking good, when you can move on to the next process. I remember when I was in the course room and I used to see people drill this stuff, and there's things where you practice with the teddy bear. When you start, learning how to use the meter and everything. But there's times where you actually need to grab someone to help you squeeze the cans or to help you drill a particular thing. And I remember when they used to drill a PC blowing, like, someone just getting up and leaving, because, also COB says it, David says it in the Golden Age of Tech Phase 1 event, where it's an auditor has to be flubbless. And, before it was the blind leading the blind and whatnot. And you have to be prepared for anything as well. So I remember they would just practice it in the course room. There'd be a guy and he'd get pissed, he'd pretend to be pissed off, he'd get up and start leaving, and then the auditor would immediately rush to the fucking door. Or if the dude managed to get away and sprint out of the room, out of the course room, he'd sprint right after him, grab him, put him back in the seat, make sure he's not going to leave, and be like, okay, let's continue the session. So it's very different to normal therapy.
That's how Jenna Miscavige bit her auditor.
Yeah.
Because she left the session.
She blew,
and they grabbed her, put her back in the seat. I mean, but she bit, and that was on her declare that she is a biter.
David Miscavige, when he was on his class 4 internship, hit his PC in the face. I mean,
yeah.
And the fact that it wasn't a guy, it was a woman. It was an older woman or something like that.
I mean, it's just
that
crazy.
That voice recording that I gave you of that interview from it took me a year for me to interview this independent Scientologist because he was from the 60s to the 90s in the Sea Org. And so, but when he left, he was, of course, bull baited, followed, infiltrated, betrayed, lied to, like, so really trying to see where he goes and stuff. So he thought I was someone trying to infiltrate him again. And I just said, no, you could check out my stuff. I'm just trying to get the point of view of a Scientologist of what it was like for them and everything. And so eventually, after a year, I asked him again, and he's like, yeah, you can ask me anything you want. And I just said, I want it to be your voice. And can I record? Because like a year before, I could write notes, but I could not record. Like, he was so paranoid. And then he went through his whole story, and he was at the gold base, and he had a pew pew in the gun, in the car, pew pew in the gun, pew pew in the car, and he almost wanted to go get it and take Miscavige out right there. He's like, he was so close to so many other people wanting to eliminate him as well, just by his like demeanor and the way he talked to people. It's just like ready, and he was ready to. I think he fought him even. I forget but he said he had so many encounters to where he would lose it with Miscavige, because Miscavige is just tearing him apart with his words, and
He's very
he's
vulgar.
just like,
He's very
let's get
vulgar. I
physical.
mean, he's just very vulgar. Like
Yeah,
he's talking to two senior executives. Mark Yeager was one of them. I don't know if Greg Will here was the other one, and it's like, those guys are in a gay relationship with each other, and the only expansion going on is the one in their back passage, and like he's just very, and
yeah,
you're a cocksucker and you're this and you're that. Like he's very vulgar in his language. Jumping up
yeah,
on a table, strangling someone, nearly strangling them to death,
yeah,
slapping people about in the face for looking at him wrong, punching people in the face.
For telling him about the couches weren't going to be finished at the New York org.
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. That's just insane to me, because if anyone's losing it, and here you have a tone 40, like your tone scale and everything, and all in this ethics, and you see that, and that's supposed to be, the prodigy. There's no way in hell I would ever say that that's okay. I would start lecturing them. And that's the other thing. The OGs would write him up and they would get booted. And everyone would just sit quiet. And it's just like, are you serious?
Imagine writing
I'm just thinking
reports.
about this. Like,
How
yeah,
fucking
a knowledge
pointless would
report.
that be?
But it was a knowledge report to their supervisor
Crazy.
that was not COB.
I mean, yeah, it's just crazy.
I mean, if they banded together, they could totally
They
take out
could,
that,
if there was, if they
that
all,
SOB.
if they all got together and they were like, I'm done, like I'm not taking this shit, and they got agreement with one another, like they could easily deal with him.
I was gonna say though, that's the huge problem, is getting them in agreement, because they're all in the same headspace of, can I trust you?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Are you gonna write a KR on me?
Because you're right.
Yeah. Yeah. I think someone actually did bring that up before.
But it's like here you're sitting around this board meeting, and it's like you got one insane person attacking everybody, or playing, whatever game, musical chairs, and you're gonna go into or the hole or what. I would so be eliminating people's lives. I'm surprised it has not happened.
That musical chairs game is absolutely bananas, and it's covered. Well, Mike Render definitely covers it in his book A Billion Years. But you look at that game, and you're in the hole. You've been in the hole for Lord knows how long. You've been on all fours, licking up the floor, going through. Some people going through hypothermia. People fighting each
Yeah.
other, going at each other. It's an absolute civil war there. Horrible conditions. You look at their faces, how pale they are, how skinny they are. And then COB walks in with a speaker and he starts blasting. Like I can't imagine what it must have been like, but he comes in with a speaker and he starts blasting Bohemian Rhapsody by Queen. And he's like, right, we're gonna start playing fucking musical chairs. But the thing is, right, whoever lost, he says, whoever lost that game, you're staying in the hole, and whoever wins that game, it's
Oh,
like
I have whoever loses gets offloaded to a new continent
that's what it was. You get
with
offloaded.
a shitty outfit.
Yeah, you might get sent to a mission, or you might get sent to a shitty org or something like that. And if you win, then you get to stay. And it's just like, fucking hell. And everyone's scrambling and beating each other up just to stay in the seat. I don't know who eventually won that game, by the way. I don't think I
Lisa
don't know.
Schroer, Mark Headley's
I know
boss.
Mike Render.
Oh, wow.
I know Mike Render was let out of the hole to handle.
John Sweeney.
Who was that? John Sweeney.
And just
Yeah.
being at the
And
event.
you could tell he was pale. He had no tint to his skin at all. He was pale, and so that encounter when he's John Sweeney is just like cussing in the camera and losing it.
Yeah, to Tommy Davis.
Yeah, and that's why Mike Render laughed, because he just left the hole, put in a suit, and said, "Handle this person." And then maybe you're tied,
What?
so he had to be successful. But it's just like one of those things. I'm like, I would totally run to the near, but you're afraid of police officers at that point. So that's why it's just like this whole mind game.
Yeah, big time. I was just gonna say, like,
Insane.
I think one of the dumbest decisions that you could ever make is putting Tommy Davis as your spokesperson for the whole entire church. Like, who the
Wasn't he
fuck
Anne,
would put Tommy
that
Davis to
actress's
like?
son?
Yeah,
But he was
that's
an
right.
actress's
That's
son.
right. But he's just like,
I know, but that's where the celebrity status of being untouchable.
yeah. I mean, you are right, but he's a Sea Org member. He
Like
was
royalty.
he was an ESO member. Like he was part of the Sea organization. I would assume that he gets treated like any other Sea Org member, unless he was a celebrity that wasn't part of the Sea organization. But who, like, putting Tommy Davison as your spokesperson? He's
Yeah.
amazing. COB is a master at creating his own problems. He's so good at it. He's so
Yeah.
good at it.
I was going to
yeah.
say, isn't creating problems a crime in Scientology?
Yes. No, he has committed so many high crimes. That's why I'm just like hearing all these like videos on, his fan page, I don't know, for Facebook. It's just all these videos. I met him and he's so kind. I'm like,
Yeah, that's so fascinating. His math, and I've asked about this to like psychologists and people I've spoken. Like, I've asked Steve Hassan about this. I've asked a lot of people about this, but his mask is interesting because it couldn't be more different. David Miscavige has his own website. David Miscavige has his own Facebook page. David Miscavige has his own.
oh, I don't think he's kind at all.
Neither
to
do
any of
I.
these
But it's
people.
just his mask is fascinating.
He's not.
because
He does not fake it. And plus, that's what I'm confused too. They say he's the most compassionate.
Yeah.
I'm like, where's compassion on the tone
Yeah.
scale? But it's just odd to me. And then there are public Scientologists that believe in the camaraderie and of all Scientologists and to be friends. And here the OGs are like, or even like, the hardcore Scientologists are like, no, get to work, that's just, and they don't understand. The new people don't understand how they can say we're not supposed to be neighbors or talk. No, just head down, keep
Yeah.
going.
Yeah.
So it's like the new versus old, to where no, if you get to this book, this ethics and everything, you're not even supposed to smile at this point.
It's just crazy shit. I'll be back in 2 minutes. Just be back. Well, 1 minute. I'll be back in 1 minute.
But yeah, if you keep going, you pull stuff out of Aristotle and other things. It goes to Hitler.
We are only 5 paragraphs in. Oh my god.
Oh, it's
Yeah,
340
and we're on page
pages.
11.
I think we're definitely going to do a part 2 at
Yeah.
least.
All right.
Go check my eye. I'll be right back.
I'm just gonna skim through this. See Pythagoras, Socrates and Plato, Aristotle, Hitler. It's just seeing this and knowing what I'm about to be reading for the first time, technically, because I've never actually read the ethics book. There's dread, curiosity, and early onset frustration. But anyway.
Boom, 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 boom.
Welcome back.
Oh, thank you, thank you. Holly, how many pages is the copy of the ethics book right there?
340.
Oof.
Yeah.
It's a biggie. It's a biggie.
Thank God we're not reading fucking Science of Survival. Christ.
Science of Survival is bigger than Dianetics, and I think Dianetics is over 500 pages now.
Yeah, let me get my copies.
I think Science of Survival is the biggest one. I'm pretty sure it's the biggest one. Yep, that's actually the hardback.
696 pages in Science of Survival, 683 in Dianetics. Just slightly bigger.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm just thinking about having to read this down the line for my own research purposes. I'm already dreading it.
FOT is pretty short, and Problems of Work is pretty short. Problems of Work is pretty boring. The ethics book is obviously bigger, but there's a lot of crazy. How long is History of Man? History of that is an absolute acid trip.
219.
219.
We could totally get into that, because I don't understand how so many people pass that book.
Oh my God.
Oh, what's so funny is that one person said, no, we sold that book in our at our org, and I was like, unless it came with a package and you actually did it on course, that's not where they want you to go, because they want you to get on onto the bridge. So it's like, that's not even the pre-book to get on the bridge. So everyone skips it.
History of Man is.
But if you knew we all came from clams, but
That's
not
why our
Earth.
tears are very salty.
We were on some other planet.
Trying to remember some of the extraterrestrial civilization incidents.
Do you know how that book opens? It says,
No,
by
but I
the
want to know now.
this is a factual account of your last 76 trillion years.
He talks about volcanoes that were not in formation.
Technique.
And apparently the popsicle
There you
people
go.
went in.
Look at that. Look at that first line of History of Man. This is a cold-blooded and factual account of your last 76 trillion years on the track. I mean,
Oh, really, Power?
I wouldn't continue reading after the first line of History of Man. Like, factual?
This is useful knowledge.
Factual? LRH, like, Ron, how do you...
You talk about the
Factual.
fucking Piltdown Man. It was determined to be a hoax and you still don't change it?
I mean, this book is just absolutely bananas. I think when I spoke to John Atack, he told me how this book even came to be, about how LRH gave these guys a bunch of shit to take, and then that ended up becoming History of Man and what they saw. And I mean, it's just
Yeah, especially his son Nibs.
yeah, exactly.
Why is this taking so fucking long to save? Acrobat, what are you doing to me? Jesus Christ, I just wanted to save History of Man.
I used to have the lectures of Technique 88, and then I ended up getting rid of it. This was before I knew that people would actually, like, buy this stuff, or people, independents that wanted it and stuff. I was just like, I don't fucking want it.
Yeah, I got those lectures. I think I still gotta find the transcripts for them, but
yeah.
nope, we were not looking at these. We were looking at this, and I don't really care about that. Okay, so we were
Power.
at
Disgusting me.
Does anyone want to continue past the highlight?
After 2 hours.
Holly, is there any way, can you pull up suppressive acts?
Oh yeah.
Heather, we're in the forward.
Wow. Yeah, you've got all the bullshit conditions. You've got PTS, SP stuff, disconnection. That's a good one to go through. But I do want to see suppressive. There we fucking go. Suppressive acts. Woo!
Any felony.
Being gay.
Yep.
Wow. Freedom of expression right there, ladies and gentlemen.
Blackmail of Scientologists or Scientology organizations threatened or accomplished, in which case the crime being used for blackmail purposes becomes fully outside the reach of ethics and is absolved by the fact of blackmail unless repeated. But y'all fucking do this daily.
Uh-huh.
So he defines it at the very top, suppressive act. Like, what is a suppressive act? Suppressive acts are defined as actions or omissions, things that you deliberately skip or leave out, undertaken to knowingly suppress. So you could unknowingly do it. Okay. Knowingly suppress, reduce or impede Scientology or Scientologists. Okay. So that's LRH's redefinition of suppressive acts. So it's directly so by this definition, we're only talking about Scientology. We're not talking about, there's no suppressive acts when it comes to the government. There's no suppressive acts when it comes to a group or people. By this definition, we're purely talking about Scientology. Okay, cool. And then LRH gives these examples because he loves to give examples a lot. And he just wanders off into the most banana stuff. Suppressive acts. Well, I mean, that comes directly under RTC. Scientology without express permission. Okay, this is a suppressive act. Scientology without express permission or license from the owner of the marks or its authorized license. Well, I mean, RTC owns all the trademarks and stuff. Falsifying records, testifying or giving data against. Isn't this complete bullshit? So it's a suppressive act. Testifying or giving data against Scientology falsely or in generalities or without personal knowledge of the matters to which one testifies.
Anything on my friend's behalf who experienced abuse and would not like to tell the story herself.
Yeah, exactly. It's just that's a suppressive act. Okay. It's also a suppressive act organizing splinter groups to diverge from Scientology practices, still calling it Scientology or calling it something else. This is an interesting thing. LRH hates squirrels. Okay, squirrel groups, squirrels. Hates them. Hates them. Right. Also, David Miscavige hates them, and he's made his mission to go and destroy squirrel groups. But the independents will say that we're pure LRH. We love LRH. We hate David, we hate CLB, but we love LRH and his teachings. We don't agree with fair game. We've cancelled that policy. We don't apply it. We don't use it. But for us and the independents, it's pure LRH. That's all it is. And also, we don't charge mega prices for people to go up the bridge and do auditing. And so we make it easy for people to go clear. But here's the interesting thing. If LRH was still around today, he would fucking hate them. He would hate the independents because they're squirrel groups. It's not part of the legit organization at all. And so I just find it so interesting that guys that kind of break up and they study LRH and they audit and they get auditing from these different independent groups. Like, do they know that LRH fucking despises them and hates them? Like, it's just a really interesting thing to think about. And it's also a suppressive act under policy that they follow. It's just,
Well,
it's
it's
an interesting
because
thought.
David Miscavige was not supposed to be the next.
Yeah, I mean,
He
that's true.
sabotaged that one.
He did. I mean, his climb to power is very Machiavellian and is very interesting. I mean, it's just divide and conquer, divide and conquer, divide and conquer, and it's very, but whatever.
Yeah.
He made it fucking happen by blackmailing people and shit.
Yep. And then, Diana making her sign everything over.
I met Diana. I met Diana last year at the IS event.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, we talked about Gene Kelly and 1950s films.
Nice. Okay,
Yeah.
guys, I left something in the private chat. I'm going to head out because I have to go take care of myself. So,
Awesome.
part 2, hopefully. I'll keep you guys updated. Night, guys.
Thank you so much.
Bye. Nice meeting you.
Okay. And then there were 2.
Yep.
Okay, so Holly, what we got here? So obviously splinter groups, okay, that's a suppressive act. Using Scientology or perverted, sorry, the rating's really small, and authorized tech, calling it Scientology, thank you so much, harmfully so as to bring about disrepute or group or Scientology itself, issuing alter is Scientology, technical data or information or instructional or admin procedures, calling it Scientology or calling it something very wordy or calling it something else to confuse or deceive people as to the true source, beliefs, and practices of Scientology. Unauthorized use of the materials of Dianetics in Scientology. I mean, this guy doesn't like squirrel groups at all, does he? Holding, using, copying, printing, or publishing confidential materials of Dianetics and Scientology without express permission or license from the author of the materials or his authorized license.
Holding confidential materials, not even using them, just holding them.
Amazing. Wow. falsely attributing or falsely representing oneself or others as source of Scientology or Dianetics technology, or using any position gained with staff and or public to falsely attribute non-source material to source, I've got an MU, or to falsify non-source material as authorized Scientology or Dianetics technology. Acts calculated to misuse, invalidate, or alter illegally or in any other way the trademarks and service marks of Dianetics and Scientology. Intentional and unauthorized alteration of LRH technology policy issues or check sheets. Yeah, you cannot change check sheets at all.
More squirrel stuff.
Yeah. And it's also part of KSW as well. It's just you can't change anything, which...
Sorry, go ahead. I did not mean to cut you off.
No, it's all... I mean, I was just thinking of Dave Miscavige and how much he's changed and altered and stuff. It just as I'm reading through this. I haven't read this since January when I had to read Suppressive Acts. Knowingly given testimony which is false.
So it's like they don't quite say no talking to police.
Yeah.
They skirt around it. Public disavowal.
Scientologists in a good standing. Public statements against Scientology or Scientologists, but not to a committee of evidence.
Oh, nope. There it is. Police.
Yeah. Yeah. Public statements against Scientology or Scientologists. There you go. It's just completely anti-free speech. Completely. Also, it's just illegal because you could be... I mean, obviously it goes against Scientology, but it's, whatever there's extortion going on or there's human trafficking going on. It's very, very highly illegal. You might be part of it, or you might know a great deal, or you might know about an investigation that's currently happening. And part of this policy of suppressive acts, if it goes against Scientology, you can't talk about it. Okay, LRH, what else? Proposing, advising, or voting for legislation or ordinances, rules, or laws directed toward the suppression of Scientology. Wow, so they're telling people how to vote. Okay. Pronouncing Scientologists guilty of the practice of standard Scientology. Testifying hostily before state.
Wait. Hold on, I'm just reading the pronouncing Scientologists guilty, because for some reason I'm not imagining like a courtroom judge calling it a felony or whatever, but literally just someone practicing standard Scientology and someone else just calling it out. I mean, I don't know. Never mind. Just
yeah, I'm with you for sure.
Just different interpretations.
So okay, I mean, it's pretty amazing. Through this policy, he's taking away our freedom of speech. He's telling us how to vote. Quite amazing. Testifying before a state of public inquiries into Scientology to suppress. Give me a fucking break. Reporting or threatening to report Scientology or Scientologists to civil authorities in an effort to suppress Scientology or Scientologists from practicing or receiving standard Scientology. Reporting or threat. I mean, wow. That's very dangerous. Reporting or threatening to report Scientologists to civil authorities. Okay, let's say that you do level 0, grade 0, and you're 11 years old, and you have to be able to talk about anything: pedophilia, sadomasochism. There's a lot on that level, and it's very abusive to force your PC to talk about this in a session and to stop it from blowing. And if he tries to blow, you have to physically 8C him back into his seat. And basically, he can't report that. to law enforcement. He can't report that to the authorities. It's a very scary thing. If you believe in this, if you don't believe in it, then whatever. I mean, it's not like a legally binding thing. I mean, you can just, But if you believe in this policy, it's a very scary thing. Because, I mean, if your family are involved in it, your mum and dad are involved in it, and you believe in this policy and you have to follow it, I mean, it's just. Aye, aye, aye. Bringing civil suit against any Scientology. Bringing civil suit against any Scientology organization or Scientologist, including the non-payment of bills or failure to refund without first calling the matter to the attention of the International Justice Chief and receiving a reply. Bringing a civil suit against any Scientology organization or Scientologist, including the non-payment of bills or failure to refund. Wow.
So when we intentionally fuck you over, you can't sue us. You need to go to the IJC. Goddamn. Demanding the return of any or all fees paid for standard training or processing actually received or received in part and still available undelivered only because of departure of the person demanding. The fees must be refunded, but this policy applies. Yeah, I had read that at some point that like when you are when you're asking for a refund in Scientology, you'll get the refund usually, but for like one course, not for like fucking everything you've purchased ever.
Yeah, I mean,
but you can't get any more processing or training.
Yeah. I mean, I've spoken to people who you pay like, for example, right? If your SRD, if your survival rundown is $1,500 or $3,000 at flag, not everyone can just boom put down 3 grand like that. Like, people pay in installments. They pay 200, then 300, then 150. That you pay it over time, or you 600, then 700, then whatever. But that goes somewhere. That money, right? You get your phone and you're like, okay, I want to pay an installment towards my SRD. This is okay, contactless. You've paid $600 or whatever. Where does that money go? Well, it sits on your account. It sits on your account, right? So if I go in the finance system in the organization, blah, 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 and I type in your name, type in your last name, then I type in your first name or whatever, right? It's arranged by last name. Well, you pop up there, and then you've got your account, how much money you've got in account, right? So money sitting there on your account that you have not used yet, that you've donated towards services that you haven't yet done. And then that money gets taken off when you do that service. Okay, so there's no longer money on account. But there's people that leave and they have money on account and they haven't paid fully for a service yet, and they have to go through this. They have to obviously, you have to sit down with a lawyer, because it's a lot of people have a lot of, you could have, I don't know, 15 grand on account because you've paid that for a service or a package. I don't know, maybe you've paid 13 grand for a package or something like that, and you haven't done it yet. People want that money back when they leave. And so, it's a whole thing. But there you go. It's a suppressive act to ask for that money back. There you go. You only need to follow this, by the way, if you want to be in good standings with the church. If you want to be in good standings with the organization, with Scientology, then you'd follow this policy of suppressive acts. If you don't give one drop of a shit, then it's just like, whatever, you just wipe your ass with it. I mean, it doesn't really mean anything at all. It's like the SEER contract has the same value as if I got a bit of toilet paper and I wrote up, do you promise me that you're going to dedicate your life to the cause? And just put your signature at the bottom. And when you pass away, you have 21-year leave of absence. Do you promise you're going to do that? And then you signed it. It's not. There's no value to that. You could rip up a SEER contract and tear it in half, and same thing with like a napkin. It's not a legally binding, powerful contract. It's just putting. It's like, I promise I'm going to do this. Scout's honor, I'm going to do this, and you just sign a bit of paper. It literally has no power. The same thing with when you leave staff, or when before you finish up your contract, or when you leave the C organization because maybe your partner gets pregnant or because you don't want involved in it anymore, and they send you a freeloader bill where you have to pay for every service that you took. If you believe in it and you want to stay in good standings with the church or the organization, and then you would pay the freeloader bill. You know, you go and work your ass off and you fucking pay that bill off. But when you see like it has no value, this is not, this is only recognized in the world of Scientology. Outside in the real world that we all live in, it has no value. It's not a legally binding contract in any way. It literally has no value. It's gold and it has the symbol and it has the insignia and it's fancy paper and you put your signature on it and there's a witness signature on it, but it has the same value as a bit of toilet roll, or it's got the same value as kitchen roll in in your kitchen, or a napkin, so it's just, yeah, it's interesting. But anyway, we've got also writing anti-Scientology letters to the press or giving anti-Scientology or anti-Scientologist data to the press. Well, there you go. Mr. Tony Ortega is pretty guilty of that one. So are a lot of people. But whatever, it's just the control of people's, freedom of speech and freedom to do whatever you want and write whatever you want. It's just a load of bullshit. Also, I'm very interested to see what they view as anti-Scientology. I'm very interested I don't know if there's a definition for anti-Scientology. I would think in the glossary of the ethics book there would be a definition of anti-Scientology. I don't know, is criticism of a Scientologist anti-Scientology? I mean, how many times has L. Ron Hubbard in a lecture gone off on a Scientology organization and said they're doing shit, or gone off on a Scientology executive or on Scientology staff or on Scientology Sea Org members, and he just lays into them and says, well, they've done shit and they fucked up and they don't do this correctly and they don't do that correctly. LRH used to say that, so I don't know, would you class that as anti-Scientology? I'm just quite interested. Holly, there's no definition for it, is there?
No.
No, okay. Continued membership in a divergent group, continued adherence to a person or a group pronounced a suppressive person or a group by HCO. Okay.
We tell you who you can talk to.
Yeah, it's just control. Failure to handle or disavow and disconnect from a person. I was shown that. Failure to handle or disconnect from a person. I mean, the policy is handle or disconnect from an SP or from a person who's guilty of suppressive acts. I was told, like, you're never going to handle Aaron Smith-Levin. You're never going to handle Alex Burns-Ross. You're never going to handle Tony Ortega. You're never going to handle these guys. So you just got to disconnect from them. You got to stop speaking to them. And I gave the impression that I was no longer talking to them anymore. But I mean, secretly I was. I didn't block any of these guys at all. I was still talking to absolutely everybody. I remember they asked to check my phone at one point. And because I said, like, I've reached out to some of these guys via email, and they were like, "Oh, okay. Do you mind if I check?" And I was like, "Nah, I already blocked them. I already got rid of them and deleted them and stuff. So there's no point in checking." And they were like, "Okay." But I remember I also asked to check my phone in one of these meetings.
Wow. The fucking balls.
It's very intense. It's very intense. It's like, you quite literally are under investigation by management, which is intense. It's just very intense. Like, you've got confidential emails and telexes being written about you and your life in Scientology and what they're going to do with you, how they're going to handle you, what your problem is. And you end up getting pulled out of the course room, and it's very degrading in that world. It's just, I think Jehovah's Witnesses have shunning or something. And I know Mormons, like, because they also have a chaplain, like Scientology have a chaplain, but it's not as high as a Mormon chaplain. A Mormon chaplain runs the damn stake. But it's similar in Mormonism, where if you maybe go too far with your partner or something, and you tell that to the chaplain, and it's just like, all right, cool. Well, you can't you can't take part in the sacrament. You can't have the bread and the water. You can't be a part of our weekly tradition. You can't. It's just it's so much invalidation, and they make you feel like you did something wrong. Like it's just, ugh, I don't know. I get sick talking about it. Demonstrably guilty of suppressive acts, being at the higher of anti-Scientology groups or persons, calling meetings of staff or field auditors or the public to deliver Scientology into the hands of unauthorized persons or persons who will suppress it or alter it, or who have no reputation for following standard lines and procedures. I mean, it's just
Could
so
you make
specific.
that any fucking shorter?
It's just so specific, isn't it? Infiltrating a Scientology group. I did this. Well, in my own way, I did, because when they were investigating me, I equally started investigating them and collecting a lot of. And also, at one point, I was the head, so I was the HCO executive secretary. I held all of HCO. I held all of Division 2. I was in Division 7 in the executive division. I held 1/3 of the organization. I had access to HCO. I held all the passwords, all the pins to the computers, and I had the HCO is locked by a password. You have to stick in a code in the door to get into HCO. I had access to that. I had access to all of HCO, all the ethics files, everything I had access to, every room, every computer, every document I had access to. So when I was being investigated and interrogated, and when I went through hard manual labor and was just being embarrassed and stuff, and when I was reading all of Ulsa's telexes, I was like, all right, bet I'm going to start investigating you and collecting information. Also, when I was speaking to some other people as well, they were like, you should probably protect yourself and start collecting information. So I was like, okay, cool. So I started collecting a bunch of information. So I don't know. I didn't really infiltrate them in the way that they maybe mean, but I did investigate them and still do have a lot of information on them, which is scattered everywhere, which they'll never be able to find, that I'm very happy about. But yeah, infiltrating a Scientology group or organization or staff to stir up discontent or protest at the instigation of hostile forces, mutiny, seeking to splinter off an area of Scientology and deny it properly constituted authority for personal profit, personal power, or to save the organization from the higher officers of Scientology. I mean, how many pages is Suppressive Acts again?
So
That's
it
a good
starts on
question.
206
Okay.
and it ends. It ends when?
For fuck's sake.
Jesus Christ. Oh, wait, those are the 80 steps. Okay, so hold on. That ended a little bit ago. Wait. Red tags become a high crime?
If red tags by the examiner 24-hour rule continue unhandled by the technical qual, the matter becomes a high crime. Yeah, if you don't handle a red tag in 24 hours, becomes a high crime.
Whose stats get wiped out for the day?
How do you mean?
Because from what I've heard is when a PC's folder is red tagged,
Yeah.
and Qual doesn't get to it within the 24 hours.
Yeah.
I thought I heard the Qual division loses their stats, basically nullifies their stats for every day that the red tag goes unhandled.
Well, the person over that is, yeah, it would be Qual. It would be. It wouldn't be the DFP. It wouldn't be the CS. Wouldn't be the auditor. Yeah, it's Qual. It's Qual. Qual is the examiner. Qual. I mean, Qual is where you find out if you've red tagged or not when you go to a test or when you go to get your exam or whatever. Qual are also correction, so it would be QualSec. Yeah, it would be.
I don't know, but just the idea of having to do an exam after every auditing session is extremely odd. We need to double check that you're brainwashed enough.
Yeah.
Jesus. Oh, wait. So started on 206, ended on 223, 17 pages, with half of them being footnotes.
Wow.
Hold on. I want to see. Okay. When proven beyond reasonable doubt that funds in business have been diverted from an org to its detriment, a declare order on those responsible is mandatory and possible criminal prosecution may be undertaken. Hold up. When was this book published? I know this is the 2007 version, but I need to know. 1989. Son of a bitch.
Oh, this is pre Golden Age of Knowledge.
I was going to say this is post Hubbard skimming off the top. Back when he used to take money from the orgs.
Yeah, this is pre David Miscavige changing it.
Violation or neglect of any of the 10 points of KSW.
I mean, every single person,
vague.
every single person, like you've Holly, you made a whole video when you went over KSW. Every single person violates KSW. There's even a percentage or a ratio of how many people actually apply the tech standard, without, deviating or changing anything at all. I mean, where is that? Knocking out incorrect applications, right? Where is that? Seeing that, hammering out of existence incorrect technology. Not every supervisor does that. Knocking out of existence incorrect application. Not every supervisor does that either. Closing the door on any possibility of incorrect technology. Closing the door on incorrect application. Not every supervisor does that. Seeing that the technology is correctly applied. I mean, every supervisor in this world is committing a high crime and a suppressive act every single day. So what are you going to do how are you going to handle these guys? It's just... I'm like reading through this with you in such a raw way, like, in such a, like, as I would be reading like by myself. It's the same way I'm reading through, and it's a very raw reaction. And as I'm reading through KSW and suppressive act and all that kind of stuff, it's like, fucking hell, like the amount of flaws, the amount of gaps in these policies, and how people don't use them or apply them, and how it's changed and altered, and it's a very raw reaction you're getting, but it just completely baffles my mind. And I'm sure obviously people that watch this will have their own reaction to it, especially people that haven't obviously seen or read any of this shit before, very fortunately. But wow. Holly, have you read the ethics book at all? No.
No. I've learned the concepts from various other places.
Yeah.
Violations of any of the 10 points that are technical D grades. Don't quickie anything. Hang on. Don't call shit old. Check sheets need to be authorized by ABC.
Wow.
Again, don't call it old.
I haven't read this in months, but it's just amazing. Like when you revisit this in a new unit of time, when you get like a fresh take on it, and you're just like, wow, fucking hell. And nobody applies this stuff. Or just everyone ends up breaking all of these policies, and I'm just like, permitting a PC to attest to more than one grade at a time on the PC's own determinism without hint or evaluation.
Quickie grades.
Yeah.
Running only one process for a lower grade between 0 to 4 where the grade EP has not been attained. Yeah. Boasting as to speed of delivery in a session. Failing to use all processes for a level where the end. Wait, I already read that. Shortening time of application of auditing for financial or labor-saving considerations. Acting in any way calculated to lose the technology of Dianetics and Scientology, to use or impede its use or shorten its materials or its application. Musical chairs is the single most destructive action to an orc's stats, and it happens all the fucking time.
Yeah. 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 Big time. There's so many directions, and there's so much cross ordering, because the ED wants this, the executive director, the guy who runs a normal organization, the ED wants this, and then in management want this, and then COB wants that, and then CLO want that, and then there's so many directions from so many different people. There's very much a misplacing of personnel. So you take in a guy and you really need this area manned up, and you shove him in there, but he is so shit there because that's not where his qualities and how he is and what he's good at. What he's good at, you're not sticking him in there. You're sticking people in there because you need that position filled in. So he's maybe not going to do the best of jobs. And then you realize, well, stats are crashing in that area. We can't handle him. Maybe we're going to stick him in what he wants to do or something. And so there is all of this twisting and shifting and instability because people that don't want to do specific jobs, they give them those jobs because they believe, well, that's where we need manned up right now. But if you could find a way to give a guy what he loves, what he wants to do, there's Chris Malin is an example of, he read Dianetics front to back to front, many different times. He walked in, he's like, I want to be an auditor. Boom, they made him an auditor, immediately joined the TTC, and he got commendations from RTC, he got commendations from so many, in management. He was being phoned up by, COOSA. He was, he was, I think he did the most well done auditing hours, which is a main statistic, which people actually get birthday game points for. He got the highest WADA, well done auditing hours, in all of the UK. Or I don't know if he actually got it in all of the world. Point being, Chris Malin was a kick-ass auditor, right? But if they'd made him something else, his stats would have crashed, he would have done shit, he wouldn't have liked it, he probably would have blown and left and fucked off a long time ago. But the problem is they give people, like the Hes, they made me the Hes. I became a joint staff after being peer pressured into it by CMO and by flag missionaries. And they made me a flag train reg, and they made me the Hes. And it's just like, woof, there you go. There's 1/3 of the organization for you to handle with hardly any staff. And I've got all of HCO to run. I've got all of Div 2 to run. I've got Regging. I've got the department of promotion and marketing. I've got the Department of Registration, I've got Department of Inspection Reports, I've got the Department, all Department of Communication, all of this shit, DERCOM, and I have to run all of this, and I don't even like being the heads. I never liked it. I never liked being. I mean, it's big post and stuff, but I didn't like that. I didn't like running HCO. I just did. And I didn't like running. I didn't like being a reg and being a sales guy. I didn't like running a Div 2. But when they stuck me on something I genuinely like doing, I was a lot better at it when they put me in Div 6. Because I like dealing with people, and I like lectures, and I like social media, and I like meeting people, and I like, you had celebrities coming in and stuff, like TV presenters and influencers, and I was pretty good with them, and I could make friends with people and stuff. But a point, when LRHs say musical chairs and stuff, a problem that I saw was organizations would give people jobs and posts that they did not want to do. And so, or they just couldn't do it, and the stats crashed. But that point should be handled at the interview, like at the beginning, when you sit down with someone that you're going to employ, and you're like, well, listen, what do you want to do? I was thinking of putting you here, but what do you think? Do you have experience here? That should be handled at the interview stage, not when you actually stick them as a 14-year-old as an executive, and then the stats crash, then you start blaming him and word clearing him, and he's got OWs, and then he has to write down all of his OWs. So there's just, the more you learn about it and the experience you have of it, you're just like, and Chris Shelton said this as well, but they cannot organize themselves out of a wet paper bag.
Yep.
The management is so poor. And I think Chris had said, like, when you look at the org board, by the way, they've cleared so many org boards. Like, I had to study the different org boards from the 50s and the 60s when LRH was, ED int. There's so many org boards, and then eventually they came to the one that they're on now, a 9-division org boards, because you've got 6A, B, and C. You come to the realization of you can't manage, you don't know how to organize. None of these guys know how to organize shit. They're not thriving and growing and expanding. They're not the most ethical people in the entire world. If you go and meet these guys and hang out with them, or you just observe them for a day, just observe them for one day as being an executive. These are some of the most stressed out guys in the world. I mean, you've got the promises of being a clear and no psychosomatic illnesses, no irrational fears and phobias, and you've got all the other promises that LRH says about being a clear, and then you've got, what LRH says about being an OT is a completely different thing about being in charge of matter, energy, space, and time. Right, okay, fine, so I'm in control of matter, okay then. But the more you learn about it, the more you read about it, the more you talk to 100 guests, 200 guests, guys that worked at the int base, the realization, the cognition, the EP, the conclusion that you'll come to is there's nothing special about them. And they don't know how to organize. They don't know how to organize anything. And so far, since they love statistics so much, fine, you can bring up statistics. They've just been on a downward trajectory, and they've just been declining over time. Membership, but what is interesting though is I think the money's been going up. I think the money has been increasing.
Not surprised. And I'm going to ask you to hold that thought.
Yeah. A stupid or suppressive person will tear up Division A to get personnel for Division B. These errors are of long duration, and they do more to destroy an org than any other, making a hole in one place to remedy a hole in B, training a person with a tech but not admission, using technical division personnel pools from others. And then Elrace just got a definition for lower grades down there. Wow. It's just so painful to study this stuff in a course room. Maybe if you're like having a good laugh with the soup, it makes it a little bit easier. Because then you can find some humor in it and stuff. But if you take this shit too seriously and you have to study pages and pages of suppressive acts and control and ethics and, well, sorry, Scientology ethics. Wow, how depressing. It's no wonder people fall asleep in the course room.
All right.
I was just getting more depressed as I was reading through it, and I was like, "Oh my
God.
god!" I know. I was like, see if you're in a course room, and you're maybe like cracking jokes or whatever with the soup, like probably would have been a little bit easier. But when you take this shit seriously and you have to get through pages and pages and pages of Scientology ethics. I mean, the book is called Introduction to Scientology Ethics. And it's just so depressing. And it's like, fucking hell. I feel so sorry for the people that have to study this. And especially people that have to study the revised David Miscavige ethics book.
A stupid or suppressive person will tear up Division A to get personnel for Division B. These errors are of long duration, and they do more to destroy an org than any other action. A, making a hole in one place to remedy a hole in another. B, training a person for tech but not admin and putting him in admin. C, using the technical divisions as personnel pools from which to man other divisions. Rapid shifts of post. Leaving areas in an org unmanned. These personnel errors or crimes cause every staff member to suffer in terms of lowered income, lowered pay, lowered facilities, lowered success.
Okay. Cool. So I think we get the point. So suppressive acts is 17 pages of pure control. Control of who you vote for. Control of your freedom of speech. Control of your freedom of expression. And this is L. Ron Hubbard policy. You have to follow this. If you are part of the organization, you have to. It doesn't matter if you're Sea Org staff or public. You got to follow this stuff. What was I going to say? Oh, Holly, can you pull up PTS?
What?
Potential.
The definition of the course or what?
Well, this part of the ethics book is called Suppressive Acts. There should be another part of the book called Potential Trouble Source.
Got it.
BDS. Basic types of PTS, that's the one. Potential trouble sources, yep. There's the definition right there. SP, PTS.
Roller coastering.
Yeah.
Type 1. Someone connected to a suppressive person in PT.
I wonder if what I would be declared as, because like I don't have my declare in Goldenrod HCO paper, but I left publicly, which is a suppressive act and a high crime. Oh, you have to pull up high crimes after, right? But I left publicly, which is a high crime and a suppressive act. You cannot leave Scientology publicly. And then 2 weeks later, I got a letter through, like, sent to my house, which says,
Your
Amir's
termination of staff participation.
exactly. So I got that, which is complete bullshit. I mean, why are you going to terminate my contract and give several reasons for terminating it when I already left publicly my that job. So anyway, that's just a low blow, back of the head shot, petty shit. But no doubt I'm declared. No, like I'm obviously declared. But am I declared SP? Am I declared PT? I mean, Alex Barnes Raw, supposedly Alex is only a declared PTS. When I spoke to the ED and stuff, they were like, no, he's a declared SP. We have no evidence of that because per L. Ron Hubbard policy, if it's not written, it's not true. So we would need to see evidence that, but apparently he has declared SP. But what we do know for sure, and Alex has a copy of his declare, is he's a declared PTS. But obviously we can see that there's different types, right? PTS type A, PTS type B. Yeah.
Type 2 is
sorry.
past suppression.
There we go. Oh, that's right. PTS type 2. And the second type of PTS, a past suppression, is being re-stimulated by someone or something in the present time environment. A person wouldn't even have to see the suppressive person to go PTS, but can become so just by seeing something that reminds him of the suppressive. Handler disconnecting.
Always has an apparent suppressive who is not the suppressive on the case and is confusing the two and is acting PTS only because of re-stimulation, not because of suppression. Type 3 is psychotic, basically.
Yeah.
For the person sometimes has ghosts about him or demons, and they are just more apparent SPs, but imaginary as beings as well.
Yeah. Just type A.
Connection to known antagonism to mental or spiritual treatment or Scientology. What else?
I think Alex might have been PTS type C.
I don't even know what the fuck that is. I knew there were extra PTS.
PTSDs? Yeah, I have a lot of them. What?
Har. No, I know I had seen a bunch of different PTS types in probably a tech bulletin.
Oh, there we go. Disconnection. There you go. There's the famous disconnection right there. Perhaps the most fundamental right of any being is the right to communicate. Oh, come on. Stop.
I do have one question.
Yeah.
What would happen if, say, a Scientologist was experiencing these limits on free speech and communication, and they brought up something like this as their justification for not taking shit?
Oh, I've been there, done that. It will just get countered. That's the problem with LRH policies. It clashes, it contradicts each other. So let's say that you went through child essay. Okay. And it's because of a nervousness where it involves going up and down someone's legs, rubbing up and down someone's legs, touching their breasts, touching different parts of their body. That is part of the motion of a nervous. I think a nervous assist is worse than touch assist because you have to rub up and down those places multiple times, especially when a kid delivers it. But you're like, you've been as part of child essay or whatever, and this guy's went too far, and then you're like, okay, well, in the way to happiness, it says to respect the law of the land. And also per this policy, right, is it says perhaps the most fundamental right of any being is the right to communicate. So you might be like, all right, cool. I'm going to tell this person, this person, this person, this person, and I'm going to inform the police, and I'm going to inform law enforcement, and I'm going to inform, whatever, right? Inform whoever you want to inform. and then you get discouraged from doing so. What happens is someone's just going to counter it. Someone's going to show you suppressive acts and say, you can't do it to law enforcement. You can. It's a suppressive act. And if you do it, you will be guilty of suppressive act and you'll get a COMIF. So and that kind of stuff happens with all sorts of stuff. EC, Exec Council, staff meeting, the purpose of an org is to make auditors. And then someone's like, no, the purpose of the org is to sell and deliver services. There's so many contradictions that this guy says this and this guy says that. But that's L. Ron Hubbard's fault, because L. Ron Hubbard, they're trying to follow Etheridge policy, but you can't follow it because there's too many contradictions. How do you follow the law of the land and also not report any illegal activity to law enforcement? How do you have in the first line of this chapter saying that the most fundamental right of any being is the right to communicate, but then you can't publicly leave Scientology, you can't publicly communicate any anti-Scientology? It's just, you come to that realization that L. Ron Hubbard contradicts himself in so much policy, and then you're just like,
It's, you have the right to communicate, but you don't have the right to choose who you communicate with.
Yeah, exactly. It's just takes away your complete freedom. Freedom of anything, to be honest. If you're a staff member or a Sea Org member, you have no life, unless your family go into the org every day or whatever. But you have no life. You're there all day, every day, dedicating your life to it. And nowadays, staff members work the same hours as Sea Org members. At least that's what I saw in the UK. Staff would work the same hours as Sea Org members, sometimes more. Sometimes staff would show up earlier than Sea Org and leave later than Sea Org. But that's how it is now. There's not enough staff and there's so much work to get done, and it's pretty messed up shit. But there you go.
Never enough time to do it.
Yeah, never. It's impossible. I mean, it's just completely impossible. What else does he say? He says, communication, however, is a two-way flow. If one has the right to communicate, then one must also have the right to say, then one must also, sorry, can you, there we go. However, as a two-way if one has the right to communicate, then one must also have the right to not communication. Can you zoom out just a little bit, Ollie? There we go. Right, so you've also got the right to not receive communication with another. It is this latter of the right to communicate that gives us our right to privacy, right? So you also have the right to speak to whoever you want to, and you also have the right to just, not respond to people, to not communicate, whatever. Okay. These rights are so basic that governments have written them into laws. Witness the American Bill of Rights. However, groups have also regulated these rights to one degree or another, for with the freedom to communicate, I hate small writing so much, comes certain agreements and responsibilities. An example of this is marriage. Okay. Is that just some definitions?
Is that cut off?
No, it's okay. Is that definitions underneath? An example of this is marriage.
Flow of progress of energy between 2 points.
Oh, yeah, it's just definitions. Yeah. It's just definitions.
Hubbard, monogamy, bullshit.
He didn't believe in monogamy?
No, it's not that he didn't. Well, he definitely didn't believe in monogamy. Because while he was still married to his first wife, when he was living with the sex cult guy, he stole that dude's girlfriend. She became Ron's wife while he was still married to his first. So he was a bigamist for a year. All right. So where were we?
I mean, LRH is just giving some definitions there, and then he gets right into his examples. In PTS technology, we use the phrase handle or disconnect. It means simply that you handle the person. If you can't handle the person, then you simply disconnect from them, right? The term handle most commonly means, when used in relation to PTS tech, to smooth out a situation with another person by applying the tech of communication. To smooth out a situation with another person by applying the tech of communication. So that's just ARC technology, basically. And just applying the communication formula. The term disconnection is defined as a self-determined decision made by an individual that he is not going to be connected to another. It is a severing of a communication line. You cut the comm line completely with the guy. You do not speak to that person anymore. You don't have a comm line with that person. You don't associate yourself with that person. You sever all ties with that person. You don't look at them. You don't talk to them. You don't text them. You don't call them. Nothing. The basic principle of handle or disconnect exists in any group, and ours is no different.
Because of the criminal example, because of course he has to go to extremes in order to prove a point.
Yep. It's the same sort of situation that husband P, which is just an example that he's giving, is faced in the example mentioned above. Yep, okay, fine. He's just giving a 2D example. Fucking talking about marriage. Okay, and
We
obviously
cannot
there's-
afford to deny that basic freedom that is granted to everyone else, the right to choose whom one wishes to communicate with or not communicate with.
I mean, it's just completely contradictory. See, I mean, like, whatever. I mean, maybe you can speak to whoever you want to speak to, but you have to be prepared to fucking deal with the consequences like I did. I mean, I just think everything just, I think there's so many contradictions in his policies, and there's just so many flaws. Like, you just cannot apply LRH policy. BTS disconnection to be in the first place. Source. When one has committed overts, his confront responsibility drop. When one has committed overts, his confront and responsibility drop. Could you back that up, please, sir?
Any experiments? Any proof? Wait, hold on. Wasn't there did you guys give away or sell the Hubbard's like not his research notes? What the fuck was it? It might have been like the research notes of Dianetics and Scientology compilation.
No. I mean, I was over that because I was the HES, which is over the dissemination secretary, which is, the person's over Division 2. And then in that is a department called the BSO, the bookstore officer, who holds all of the, the books, the DVDs, all of that stuff. I was over that. But no, we didn't. We didn't even. What's funny is we didn't even sell as science fiction books. We had it. We had Battlefield Earth. We had Battlefield Earth, the audio book. We had all of LRH's, well, not all of his. I mean, he wrote a lot of fucking science. This is the same guy that is in the Guinness Book of World Records for writing that much shit. But we had a lot of LRH's sci-fi books, but we couldn't sell it for some reason. Or we could sell it, but we didn't get any money for it. All the money went to NEP, New Era Publications. So usually you'd make money, GBS, gross book sales. You'd make money from selling books and materials and DVDs. But sorry, just thinking about this right now. I haven't thought about this in
You're good.
months. But you could sell, and or could sell LRH's sci-fi books, but they wouldn't make any money from it. All the money would go to NEP, New Era Publications. Or Bridge Publications. Bridge Publications or New Era Publications. But it's one of the publications that would get all of the money for it.
Jesus.
They take a lot of money. Like, orgs could be making a lot of money. Like, if they... But all the money... It's a pyramid scheme. So all the money goes to the top. But if they change the whole... If they radicalize the whole system, theoretically, you could pay all of your staff. And the organization could be making a lot more money to put into promotion and marketing and, doing up their buildings and renovations and, whatnot. Like, they can afford it, but it's part of the flaws of Scientology and David Miscavige. I was going to say upper management, but it's not upper management, it's David Miscavige. Because nobody has a say in anything. Everything is... Nobody lifts a finger or breathes without David's approval. But there you go. It just shows the flaws today. Like, but then you think about it and you're like, well, the purpose isn't to grow and expand. The purpose is to make as much money as possible, and to service David in any way. Sorry, I'm just continuing to kind of skim read this. But yeah. Obviously, like there's times where like you can pull out your hair and you can be like, oh my God, there's so many flaws and there's that and there's that and there's that. But then when you actually think about why, you come to the conclusion like the reason isn't to fucking clear the planet, which is impossible and shows that they're an extremist radical group. The purpose isn't to clear the planet. The purpose isn't to sell and deliver services to salvage people, and their purpose isn't to, whatever.
The purpose is world domination.
I think that's what LRH's purpose was, but David, who runs everything, David runs it. I think his purpose is to make as much money as humanly possible. And I don't know, maybe I'm looking at the whole ideal org thing, and I'm looking at what they're doing in downtown Clearwater with all the property. I mean, Grant Cardone lives in downtown Clearwater. Tom Cruise has an apartment in downtown Clearwater. Tampa Brad also is part of real estate there, and they're just buying up all of the fucking property, and they're building a bunch of shit, and they're just trying to turn it into a Scientology town. Hopefully Mark Bunker does well, who's running for elected office there. But the more I think about it, I'm just like, I don't know, like, what the purpose of that is. Like, is it control? Is it so that you can't get rid of Scientology, and even when David passes away in 15, 20 years, like it's immortalized throughout time? Is it to help hide and mask and mirror money because you're making so much money? Trish Duggan comes in 400 million, Bob Duggan comes in 300 million, Tom Cummings comes in 280 million. You're making so much money from even from those guys alone. You're grossing over $1 billion. So imagine from the other parishioners, billions, plus Ideal Org, plus IES, plus whatever, right? There's a lot of shit. Point is, they're worth billions. But I'm thinking of what they're doing, and I'm thinking of David and his whole strategy. And I'm just like, I don't know. Money is a big thing, and power is a big thing, but the whole property game, I don't know. Is it to mask money? Is it Is it for power? Is it to immortalize Scientology? Like L. Ron Hubbard Hall. What's the point of L. Ron Hubbard Hall? It's not to honor LRH. It's complete bullshit. It's not to honor L. Ron Hubbard at all. They could have paid for that in 2 minutes with the amount of money they have, you know. But anyway, I'm just thinking out loud to you, Holly.
You're good. No, it's just their whole business model of real estate is fucking nuts. And by the way, when you said Tampa Brad, that's a name I have not heard in a while.
Yeah, he's got his own podcast now, the Don't Do Nothing podcast.
Oh, that's him?
Yeah.
No shit.
He's got a co-host, and they've had Tom Cummins on, they've had Manuel Suarez on, they've had Elena Cardone on, that will be coming out soon. They've had, yeah, they've got a Scientology podcast now.
Wow.
And it's like literally, like, it's not even like they're hiding it, it's literally a Scientology. Like, they have Dianetics on the shelf behind them, and they talk about it, and they get people talking about, they use terminology, like it's a full-blown Scientology podcast.
Part of me wants to like listen to this now.
I've listened to a few episodes. Someone used to do a reaction video to because I mean, it's used to glorify Scientology and make it beautiful. Because Tom Cummings will come on, and Tom had a rough background and did a lot of drugs and went to jail, and Tom had a pretty rough life, and they'll use it to, say that Tom did his purif, and Tom did this, and Tom did that, and we help people get off drugs, and, whatever, but, a guy going through drug addiction can't just cough up $3,000 to go do his purif at Flag. A guy who's on drugs can't just cough up 1,500 like that. I mean, and that's the only way you're going to do the purif. Plus, you have to pay for a doctor's appointment. Plus, you have to pay for supplements and all those vitamins and stuff. So, I mean, not anyone could just do the purif. It's very unrealistic for people to cough up that amount of money, especially with the times we're living in now. But the whole thing is just to make Scientology look very beautiful and very innocent and sweet, and like it's out here to try and help the general public. And anyway, I'm sure you'll have your take on it, and everyone else is like when you go and watch it and stuff. I have a feeling that they buy views.
Again, not surprised if they did.
Just when you look at the likes and the comments, and
what is like the ratio of those?
See, when you see like 7 comments and like 200 likes, but then the video has 200,000 views, it's like it's not really adding up. It's like Stephen Ridley, like 500,000 subscribers, 500,000 Instagram followers, but then 150 likes. It's like Stephen Ridley is he's
that piano motherfucker.
Yeah, Stephen the pianist.
My God.
Yeah, he just performed at Flag actually very recently, Stephen.
Wow. What an accomplishment.
I'd love to find out how Stephen got into Scientology.
He never talks about it?
He talks about Scientology, and he openly puts it on his story, and I think he's actually a minister now. I mean, he posted himself in the Flag Chapel with the minister badge, and he was also performing at Flag. Like, he'll openly post about it. And, when you look at his Instagram, he has Manuel Suarez on his recent post. He has Tom Cummings on his recent post. They're on a private jet. They performed at a recent event. So he'll, openly post about it and stuff. But from my research, I can't seem to find how he got into it.
Maybe he'll talk about it at some point. I'm sure at least one comment has asked about it.
Yeah.
But I just don't think he's either A, I'm going to assume that his comments are off, or B, he's just not responding to anything.
Yeah. They delete comments. Like when I ran the TikTok page for Scotland and when I would collaborate with all these guys, like they block antagonistic comments or they delete them. Hence why you've got tens of thousands of views, hundreds of thousands of views, but 10 comments, 7 comments. Dr. Eric Berg does the same thing because I've seen a video of it where he does it on Facebook where he goes through any negative comments and just deletes them. So you only see positive ones. And then Stephen Ridley does it. Charlie Wackley does that. He just goes through any I hate Charlie Wackley so much. He's actually blocks me now.
Who is Charlie?
Charlie is he was the former Pez. He was a former executive at London, the London branch, the London organization. He's also got a YouTube channel, Charlie Wackley. He got a comment actually for starting a YouTube channel because you're not supposed to do that. You're not supposed to.
Wow.
You can't just start a YouTube channel and start talking about Scientology without also approval. So he got a comment for that. And he's also some sort of Scientology social media star in some sort of way. He's just a dick. He's just a complete dick. He's blocks me now. He was, apostate, Alex Barnes Ross.
Mm-hmm.
That was his senior.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. He's recently joined staff, but he's been demoted to HCO Expediter.
Ooh.
Like Charlie, he's been demoted. For a few reasons. Some reasons I know about, some reasons that even I don't know about. But yeah. It's very political. Doesn't give you religious vibes, doesn't give you peace vibes. It gives you toxic vibes. It's a very political scene. You've got muster and meetings and posts and executives and seniors and reports and money and ethics and communications and intelligence and an Office of Special Affairs and it's like the military.
It is the pseudo navy, or what is it? Fake space navy. That's what some people call it. Navy.
Yeah, I mean, staff don't have to wear those kind of uniforms, and even Sea Org don't have to wear those uniforms, but they did in the past for sure. Alex Barnes Ross. No, he was on staff before. Alex is the former director of.
Hang on, I'll get it.
He was in 6A. It's completely gone out of my mind. The director of something. Director of Public Book Sales?
Is that right? Nothing, but it sounds about accurate from what I remember him talking about.
Director of Public Book Sales. I'm pretty sure it's the Director of Public Book Sales.
Or bookstore officer or some shit.
BSO's in Div 2. Alex was in 6A. I'm pretty sure.
That bookstore. Wait, there's 2 different bookstores?
There's 2 divisions that sell books. I'm pretty sure it's the Director of Public Book Sales. But he was the Director of Public Book Sales, and Charlie Wackley was his senior. But that was in the 2010s. We're talking like 2014, 2015. Mm-hmm. Not anymore.
Oh, I wanted to ask you, when you were doing your reg training at Flag, how long did that take you?
I never did it at Flag. I did it in Scotland.
You said you did. Oh no, you said you Flag trained reg.
That's because a Flag apprenticeship came from Flag to Scotland, and I was trained under messengers. I was trained under CMO.
Got you.
It's a Flag apprenticeship, but you don't have to go to Flag because you had Commodore's messengers coming over for whatever reason they came over because they're on a program.
Whatever mission.
Yeah, they came to handle income and recruitment and to help out on a bunch of stuff. So I was trained by messengers when they came to Scotland. I think I finished it the fastest. I beat the ED. It's actually crazy. I beat the FEBC ED and the flag rep and the LC and I beat all those guys. I beat the director special. I finished the. It's actually crazy, and I couldn't believe it when they told me. They were like, "Well, congratulations, because I think it took a few months, but CMO came up to me and said, "Congratulations, you finished the quickest," and I was like, "Huh?" And they were like, "Yeah, you finished the quickest," and I was like, "But you guys have been telling me to go fast, 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 fast. Come on, come on, come on, come on, quick, 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 quick," for months and months and months, and I'm like, I thought it was last, and they were like, "No, you finished it the quickest." I think it took a few months. I think it took a few months because there's certain things that you have to do on that flag apprenticeship. You have to watch every, not that this takes long, but you have to watch every single restoration event. You have to watch GAT 1, GAT 2, Golden Age of Knowledge, Golden Age of Admin, um, the release of Superpower and Cosm Surgeons. Yeah, you have to watch all of the restoration events by COB. And you have to sell packages, training packages, and processing, like intensives, auditing intensives as well, which is really difficult. Like, imagine walking around the organization trying to phone call people and trying to interview people and get them to pay 13 grand. Like, it's
I was gonna say, like,
pretty tough thing.
how would you go about doing, like, if you don't mind me asking, what was your script when you were regging?
There's no script, but there's policy and like hard sell. Which is the one I was drilled on the most, but you drill it before you go into an interview, you drill it, and you fuck up a lot, and then you drill it again, and you fuck up a lot, and then you drill it again, and then you eventually close somebody. And there's, you can tag team, so there could be two regs in a room, there could be two sales guys in a room that sit down with someone and get them closed.
Make them feel more intimidated.
Yeah, exactly. You have to really read the person and read the scene. Like, does the person need to do it? Like, is it their next thing on the bridge? Because then you've got more leverage. Come on, it's your next thing. Let's do it. Come on, let's get you signed up for it. Here's a quote by LRH. LRH says this about that. Here's a film. Let me show you the film about your solo auditors course, right? Okay. How did you find that film? Yeah, it was good. Okay, great. So, you obviously, blah, 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 right? Or if the person is on their student hat and you're trying to sell them an academy levels package, level 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, it might be too unrealistic for the person, right? It's fucking ages away. Like, why would they even think about something like that now when it's miles and miles away? And so you got to try and convince the person and show them quotes and show them films. Like, you've got tools. So you've got films, you've got brochures, you've got promo, you've got quotes, you've got tag teaming, you've got different tools that you can kind of use. Sometimes you need more than one interview, sometimes you need two. Sometimes the right person needs to talk to the person and you're not the right person. Sometimes it just depends. It's very intense. And I hated it. I don't like being a reg. Yeah, I've heard all sorts of stories. I remember there was one guy who it came to the IS event, and he's supposed to be paying a lot of money, and then Grant Cardone spoke to him, and Grant Cardone was like, come on, put your money where your mouth is, and let's fucking pay this shit. And the dude paid the money because Grant Cardone told him to pay the money. So it's yeah, I mean, and especially it's now more than ever under COB. Like, money is so important.
How
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
What is the level of importance today on FSMs?
That's a good question. FSMs is a main statistic. It's a long name. It's like rising field in a civilization, whatever, right? But FSMs get commission. FSMs is part of a main birthday game statistic in Division 6C. By LRH policy is very important, but how seriously it's taken right now, it is a really important thing, but in Scotland they didn't take it so seriously, but it is a really important thing because, I mean, and Wise take it really seriously because Wise get all the big donors in and they get all the CEOs and business guys and whatnot in because, you know, you are a Scientologist and you're trying to get someone else into Scientology to do a course or a service or whatever. So it is really important, but some orgs take it more seriously than others. London are pretty good at it. You know, that's how they got some big guys in. But yeah, in Scotland they're not very good at it.
I was gonna say, why are they not good at it?
Number one, they don't try as much, and number two, Scientology's reputation isn't particularly very good. So if you go tell your colleague at work or whoever you work with about this service, they'll be interested in it. But as soon as they hear or see that they're going to the Church of Scientology, they're probably going to cop out.
I was gonna say, did you wanna if I don't know if you still have time to chat.
I've got an idea.
Mm.
Before I go to bed, why don't we do one reaction video to a clip?
Cool.
I'll let you pick a clip.
Oh God.
What time is it for you?
10:30 p.m.
You sleep early though, right?
Yeah, I usually start crashing around 7
Yeah, wow.
because
Do
I
you,
fucking get up for 3.
Do you ever like play like PC or whatever before you go to bed?
Do you ever play what?
Do you ever play like, I don't know, like PS5 or you're like go on your PC before
PC
you
games,
sleep?
yeah.
Yeah.
It's usually Binding of Isaac, whatever simulator I'm currently into,
Yeah.
or some kind of either roguelike or like puzzle game.
Yeah. Simulations are cool.
Trying to figure out a good the fuck was this? I have Christmas at AOSH. I don't remember when I got this, but I don't know if I want to watch Christmas. I do got to check this one though and make sure this woman's not getting doxxed. No. We already did the student hat successes at Flag.
Oh yeah, that's right, with Tom Cummings.
Did we do the Free Winds tour?
Don't think so.
Okay. Oh, hey, Journey, welcome back.
Sailing far off the crossroads of the workaday world, it's the 440-foot motor vessel Free Winds, the Church of Scientology's senior-most religious retreat. In 2008, in celebration of the ship's 20th maiden voyage anniversary, and to meet the need in the wake of worldwide expansion, the ship was completely refit from stem to stern. Fully redesigned and technologically...
My fucking browser's being a bitch again. I don't know why it can't like run video that well without like starting to crash. But
State of the art.
and I've seen pictures of people in anti-Scientology groups. They'll post pictures. They're like, "Oh, I'm on vacation in the Bahamas or some shit," and they'll send a picture of the free winds at dry dock. And yeah, they'll just be like, "Look how tiny this boat is compared to my cruise liner."
Wow.
And it's just a yacht. It's basically, it looks like a fucking yacht or like a ferry.
Wow.
Every inch redefines ideal, providing a distraction-free environment for ministering the highest level of spiritual counseling available in the Scientology religion. While to guarantee smooth passage, every detail has been addressed in anticipation of the parishioners' every need. And it all begins with the shipboard dining and event facilities. First, there's the new Heritage Restaurant. It's long stood in tribute to the church's fraternal order, the Sea Organization, but it's never looked like this. All in commemoration of every ship in the original flotilla, from the Excalibur to the Apollo, and dedicated to the uncompromising service and commitment that is the Sea Org. Then, forward on the promenade deck, it's the 5-star Horizon. Beyond its already legendary impeccable service, the Horizon offers unparalleled panoramic views of the Caribbean seas. While on the aft deck, it's what's now become the traditional passenger place to be, the new Sky Lounge. This is where parishioners gather, whether on course breaks, between sessions, or after shipboard events. It's an atmosphere that's as uniquely part of the Free Winds experience as pristine Caribbean waters and the warmth of the equatorial sun. Above it all is the new Sun Deck Topside, site of another onboard tradition, post-event banquets and celebrations. It's also where the Free Winds host special events and seminars year-round for international Scientology conventioneers. The Free Winds Cinema is first and foremost the venue for L. Ron Hubbard technical films for those studying aboard. But beyond that, it's also where parishioners converge for onboard convention seminars and briefings. And then there's the Starlight, the site of weekly Free Winds graduations for those attaining the highest levels of the bridge. It's also here top Scientologists convene.
Say that again?
That's where COB would speak when it, comes to those events and stuff.
And just the way they market the church with millions of members, but then you look at rooms that have an amount of chairs like this.
Yeah.
And you go, how the fuck are you expanding?
Yeah, it says it all. Oh, I would love to, because I never went on the Free Wind. I know everyone that did. Like, I knew everyone in my org that went to the Free Wind. I know people that got married on the Free Winds, and I remember one lady told me that the Free Winds is so clean you could eat you could eat food from the floor. That's how clean it is. I would love to know the prices of that restaurant. I mean, they must be spending. Yeah.
I'm sure they're fucking insane, but is LRH bust there to hip hip hooray to?
Each year for the maiden voyage anniversary celebration.
What?
His picture's there, so they would do it to that.
And OT Summit. When it comes to accommodations, there are more than 100 passenger cabins from prom deck to sea deck. Each meticulously designed.
Again, you can only support 100 people? The fuck?
To make for a stay that's ideal in every way. Nothing is more important than a parishioner's journey to the uppermost reaches of the Scientology bridge. So
Ew.
It's an old meter.
It's a Mark 7 or Super 7?
It must be a Mark 7. Wow. Imagine doing fucking OT8 on the ship.
Not even just OT8, just the fact that I'm looking at this and I'm not even imagining the person doing OT8. I'm imagining the person being here doing OT7. Fucking, 5 to 7 sessions a day, mini sessions.
Yeah, every single day.
the crew of the Freewinds dedicate themselves to ensuring the voyage is without distraction. As for the actual passage to those higher states, that's what Freewind's technical delivery is all about. It's a Hubbard Guidance Center fully representative of the gateway to the top of the bridge. And
This is what the gateway to the top of the bridge gets me. This is what $500,000 to $1 million gets me.
each of the onboard
Like,
So small.
counseling rooms is the embodiment of technical perfection, down to the last detail. While as for training, it's the course rooms on the main deck and A deck, configured to transport hundreds at a time ever closer to total spiritual freedom. And since this ship is the threshold to the upper levels of Scientology, it's all specifically geared for those on the ascent to the highest states. In all, the Freewind stands at the forefront of a growing worldwide movement towards spiritual advancement, transporting Scientologists to new realms of freedom every day. And that's the Church of Scientology's advanced religious retreat, the Freewinds.
that fucking
Wow.
music, though.
Honestly, it's like they're
So
trying to sell you a
Scientology.
yacht. Such a business commercial. Wow. Well, that was very interesting.
Yeah, I'll say.
Oh man. Oh, these guys are
It's like a
something
late
else.
night infomercial you'd see on hotel TV.
Literally, I think you said it best. That's exactly what it feels like a 3 a.m. infomercial or something. Well, anyway, I didn't beat last time. We haven't went for, I mean, yeah, because I think the first video was like 3.5 hours. The second video was like 5:17 or
5:20.
something, 5:20, and this one's like 3:45.
Hey, I
there you
still had
go.
fun.
Yeah, I mean, I've had a lot of fun for sure. But anyway, Holly, thank you for having me, though. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, you're a really cool person to have on.
Thank you so much. It looks like
Whose
we're gonna have
voice
to do.
they use? Sorry, I'm reading the.
Oh
comment.
yeah, you should see the voice that they use for the IS event.
Oh God. Hold on.
It's for LOH's birthday event. Oh my god, you would find it really funny. The voice that they used for the IS event. It's a different voice.
Just Pomerantz.
Yeah. It's really funny. It's oh my god. Anyway, very cheesy. But anyway, yeah, I was just gonna say it's been a blast. It's been really cool.
Absolutely.
It's
Wait.
about to be 4 o'clock in the morning here. Wow.
Yeah, it's 11 now.
Are you working tomorrow?
Nope, that's why I'm doing this tonight.
Okay, that's good.
Because if I went to bed now, I'd have to be up in 4 hours.
Oh, damn it.
So,
That's good. That's good. That's fine.
but
Well, anyway, well, I'm sure we can arrange another part, and we can, because she had to leave as well, so we can do something again for sure.
yeah,
But
sounds good.
yeah, thank you for having me, Holly. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for being awesome.
Appreciate you too.
All right. Bye, everybody. Thanks for watching. Link trees in the description. Thank you, Journey, for joining us today and then coming back to us in the chat. And I will talk to all of you later. Peace.